Survival for all. I start by building a mecha and piloting a Gundam. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 401. Finally succeeded in summoning Iron Man. Another thing is, whether Stark can be summoned after the upgrade. This is the thing that Tang Xiaofan is most concerned about. After all, there is no complete information about the super large steel armor in Jarvis's database, and all the solutions must be solved by Stark, an expert in mecha. Tang Xiaofan found that as the farmer factory was upgraded to level 9, the feeling of power became stronger. According to this speculation, if the level 9 farmer factory can summon Stark when he descends, even if he does not become a true god in one step, he is still in the farmer state, then his strength must have entered the level of true god. He is a god as soon as he is born. He is worthy of being the most powerful farmer. He is really strong. Tang Xiaofan is very envious of this. Up to now, his omnipotent lord is only in the late stage of demigod. There is still a distance from becoming a god. Stark is born as a god, which is simply invincible. Of course, if he descends, he is not in the scientist state, but has full combat skills, then he will be even more invincible. Iron Man at the main god level, what else does he need to develop? He can directly take Iron Man to capture the local empire in the central area. What true god in the gods and demons continent can resist the god level Iron Man? But it should be impossible for him to be a god at birth. According to convention, it is most likely that he will grow into a scientist. The game officials will not let me directly have a god level soldier. That would completely destroy the balance, let alone the castle forces. Even the native empire of the gods and demons continent may be directly swept by me. Tang Xiaofan did not hold out hope for this. He was almost certain that Stark would also be a scientist after he was born, and it was impossible for him to be a combat hero directly. Even if he was just a scientist, he must be a god. Invincible in the surrounding areas, Tang Xiaofan already had a plan. After the kingdom was established and ruled the entire forest, he would take his Iron Man and millions of soldiers to attack the surrounding areas. The first target was Camilla Prairie. Tang Xiaofan turned his attention to the farmer's factory again, and suddenly new information appeared in his field of vision. Farmer factory, unique arms building, current level 9, summonable professional farmers, randomly summoned once a month, strongest talent scientist prototype, extremely talented hero prototype, special reminder, level 9 farmer factory, 70% chance of breeding farmers with special abilities upgrade. Required, unknown, strongest talent scientist prototype. As expected, the level 9 farmer factory can definitely summon Stark. Tang Xiaofan's mood at this time was beyond words. Tony Stark, Iron Man. This is the scientist he has always dreamed of. Once the summoning is successful, no other castle lord can threaten his position in the castle power. Give him some time, and he will be able to gather a terrifying steel army with the help of Iron Man. Not to mention the castle power. Even if facing the local empire in the central area, he has the courage to launch an expeditionary campaign and sweep the entire world. After the farmer factory is upgraded to level 9, the probability of summoning farmers with multiple special abilities has also increased by 70%. That is to say, if 100 farmers are bred, there will be about 70 special farmers with a high probability. Of course, probability is like luck, a very metaphysical thing. It may be more or less, but after all, such a high probability is there, no less can be much less. But at this time, Tang Xiaofan's expression was slightly stunned. What does it mean that the upgrader is unknown? Didn't the game officials say that the highest level of the arms building is level 9? Tang Xiaofan immediately asked the game official, and soon the information prompt came. The highest level of the arms building is level 9, but there are also unknown artifacts that can upgrade the arms building to a higher level. Related information. The castle owner needs to explore it by himself. Tang Xiaofan decisively stopped thinking about it. Even the game official claimed that it was an unknown artifact. Where could he find it? So he directly assumed that his farmer factory had been upgraded to the highest level and stopped thinking about other things. However, Tang Xiaofan did not leave, but began to summon a special summon once a month. Do you choose to randomly summon the strongest talented scientist now? Yes, no. Tang Xiaofan immediately chose yes. A golden light flashed, and the farmer factory began to work. Compared to the time it took to summon Ethan and the Winter Soldier before, this summoning time was a bit shorter. The golden light kept shining and soon ended. A man with a mustache, wearing a high-end suit and black sunglasses, holding a big cigar in his mouth, constantly fiddling with a small metal flying saucer in his hand, walked out casually. It seems that you are my lord. Jarvis, you are here too? The strange world suddenly makes people feel full of conquest. Tony Stark. Iron Man. An unparalleled scientist. A true genius. The type of soldier that Tang Xiaofan most hopes to summon after upgrading the farmer factory to level 9. Iron Man. A god as soon as he was born. A terrifying pressure suddenly emanated from him. That was the power of the gods. Although it could not affect Tang Xiaofan, the soldiers around him kept retreating, and it was difficult to get close. The power of the gods has appeared. The continent of gods and demons, a distant world outside the domain. A temple is located inside a certain grey and dead star. Several beautiful figures gathered in the temple. One of them was the elf goddess Isabel, who was projected in the Treeman Canyon. It's time, the elf goddess Isabel whispered suddenly in the deadly temple. The other figures trembled slightly when they heard this. Your Majesty, is it so soon? Yes. Elf goddess Isabel's eyes swept over them one by one and said, Ocean goddess, moonlight hunting goddess, flame goddess, storm goddess. Someone told me that the faith god system can return to the gods and demons continent. Believe, the light god system, the dark god system, the titan god system. They should have received the news too. Please wake up the other sleeping goddesses. The god war is about to come. We, the natural goddess system, will work with the gods to take back the land of faith that belongs to us. How can the gods and demons continent be occupied by those ignorant gods of truth? As you wish, your majesty. The ocean goddess and other natural goddesses bowed to the elf goddess. The reason is simple. The fairy elf goddess Isabel is the most powerful deity in the goddess of nature play, just like the goddess of light's commanding pantheon of light belief. Chapter 402. The god system of truth will drive out the god system of faith. Very abruptly, a small-scale war of gods suddenly broke out in the outer world of the gods and demons continent. The attacking party was a god of faith who had been retreating in ancient times. The defending party was the god of truth of the new era, ruler of the gods and demons continent. Damn bastard, the gods and demons continent is the world of our god of faith. What qualifications do you have to dominate it? Get out of here. The roar of the god of faith shook the outer world. With the help of divine power, sound can be transmitted even in a vacuum. As the divine power swept across, several nearby asteroids exploded in an instant. However, the figure standing on the edge of the starry sky of the gods and demons continent remained motionless and directly used the golden power of truth to annihilate the whistling power of faith. Boom boom boom. The war broke out again, and the terrifying divine power stirred the outer world, and the phantom of the kingdom of God descended to bless the power of the gods. Hundreds of stars exploded in the battle between the two sides and turned into nothing. As for the void, it was shattered in pieces, and the black holes of the universe were all exposed, revealing the dark universe behind it. Compared with the god and demon continent, which is protected by the laws of the world, the space of the outer world is more fragile and cannot withstand the power of the gods. Under the collision of two different divine powers, the space of the outer world was torn into pieces like thin paper. It is unknown how long this battle of gods lasted. Finally, the god of faith was defeated and forcibly killed. The body of the god was blown up, and the dazzling godhead was taken away and sealed. At the same time, cheers resounded throughout the outer world. It can be seen that at the junction of the god and demon continent and the outer world, there are a large number of figures standing. They are all gods of the truth god system. Among them, there are powerful gods, sitting on the throne, looking down at other gods of faith in the outer world. Two god systems, countless gods, separated by millions of kilometers, confronting each other. However, it is obvious that the number of gods in the God of Truth is greater, while the number of gods in the God of Faith is not only smaller, but also split and standing in different places. This is because they belong to different god systems. Horus has fallen, a peak lower level god, who has lived for hundreds of thousands of years, has been lingering from the ancient times to today, just to return to the gods and demons continent, but he fell in the outer world. He was too anxious. He wanted to force his way in. A god whispered, "How could those guys in the God of Truth easily let us return to the gods and demons continent and compete with them for the power of the world's laws and the throne of the God King? The God of Truth can't stop us. The powerful Titan god system will definitely return to the gods and demons continent." A giant sitting on the throne under the starry sky roared, and behind him stood thousands of giants, each thousands of meters tall. On the bodies of the giants, all were wrapped in golden thunder. They were the Titan gods of the ancient times. For returning to the gods and demons continent, the gods of the Titan god system are also imperative, and no god can stop their return. If you dare to stop me, I will kill you. Even if a new war between gods breaks out, it is worth it. At the same time, gods from the Light Pantheon, the goddess of nature, the Dark Pantheon, and other pantheons also descended one after another. As time passed, more and more gods from the Faith Pantheon gathered in the outer world. They were as dense as the stars in the sky, and behind each god was a vast phantom of the kingdom of God. In those kingdoms of God, there were endless believers praying to them and providing them with the power of faith. Seeing this scene, the expressions of the gods of truth on the edge of the continent of gods and demons also changed. The cheers had disappeared. Their expressions became solemn. Sure enough, we can't underestimate these gods of faith. Even if they are losers in the ancient war of gods, we can't despise them. During the past years of faith, it seems that they have not stagnated and are still recruiting believers in other planes and life planets. So what? The continent of gods and demons belongs to us. A god of truth roared at the world outside the domain. Failures of the ancient times. There is no room for you to survive in the continent of gods and demons. This world is dominated by our God of Truth system. How dare you, young man, speak so arrogantly? A man of faith who looked very old stood up, exuding terrifying divine power, so powerful that it shook the entire world outside the domain. Upper God. A sea god who is said to have fallen. I didn't expect that he is still alive. So what if he is a higher god? He is not the main god. The God of Truth system is fearless. At the same time, an equally terrifying divine power collided with him. The owners of the last two divine powers groaned at the same time, and golden divine blood flowed from the corners of their mouths. The old gods retreated, but more gods of faith stood up, including the goddesses of the natural gods. For returning to the gods and demons continent, the faith gods can be said to be imperative. Even if countless gods fall, they cannot be stopped. The reason is simple. In addition to competing for the world law power of the gods and demons continent, somewhere in the gods and demons continent, the legendary throne of the God King is hidden. The God King is more powerful than the main god, the supreme existence. No god can resist the attraction of becoming the God King. Even the dimensional demon god who invaded the gods and demons continent that year was looking for the throne of the God King. Although until now, the throne of the God King has not been found. But all gods know very well that the throne of the God King is hidden in the gods and demons continent. As long as you get the throne of the God King, you can become the God King, master the authority of the supreme god, and rule all the gods. The God of Truth cannot stop us from returning. The God of gods and demons belongs to our God of faith. Back off. A God of faith glared at the God of Truth standing on the edge of the starry sky of the God of gods and demons, and said murderously, "You young men of the later generations, do you want to go to war with us?" Facing the God of faith that existed in ancient times, the God of Truth of the God of gods and demons is really a young man. Even in the God of faith, there are still some gods that the God of Truth once believed in. For example, in the camp of the natural elf empire, there are many gods of truth who were once believers of the elf goddess Isabel. In ancient times, after the elf goddess disappeared, in order to fight against the dimensional demons, they gave up their faith, pursued the truth, and finally became gods, and have lived until now. So when they saw the elf goddess standing in the natural goddess camp, some of the gods of truth in the natural elf empire had complicated expressions. If it is not involved in the battle between the god of gods camp, they will be happy to have friendly conversations with the former god of faith, mother goddess, and elf goddess, and even become friends. But now, in order to protect the continent of gods and demons in their world, they can only stand up and stop the goddess of nature, where the elf goddess is, from returning to the continent of gods and demons. Facing the angry rebuke of the god of faith, the god of truth responded with a serious expression. We, the god of truth, expelled the dimensional demons and protected the continent of gods and demons. Similarly, we can also expel you. Things that have passed away should not have appeared. What you, the god of faith, should do is not to return to the continent of gods and demons, but to go to other planes of life and planets to spread the so-called faith. The continent of gods and demons no longer needs the god of faith. How could it be? There are still believers praying to me. A goddess with a beautiful face walked out of the void, staring at the gods of truth with cold eyes, and said, "Since faith exists, then we must return." Chapter 403. The complete form is the supreme god superhero, goddess of light. Seeing this beautiful goddess, many gods of truth changed their expressions instantly, as if they couldn't believe it. You didn't die. Didn't your divine body get blown up by the third demon back then? The goddess of light ignored their questions and said coldly, "Get out of the way. Today is destined to be the day of the return of the faith system. Those who block the way will die." Hearing this, the gods of truth were extremely angry, because they felt the contempt from the goddess of light. Just a loser. It's nothing more than living longer. Why do you look down on them with high spirits? You know, they are the savior gods who defeated the dimensional demons and saved the continent of gods and demons. No god of faith can set foot on the continent of gods and demons. Along with this voice, the void cracked, and a beautiful figure sitting on the throne appeared. Seeing this figure, many gods of truth hurriedly stepped back. The gods of truth belonging to the natural elf empire camp bowed respectfully and said, "Your Majesty, this figure is the ruler of the natural elf empire today, the elf queen. She is also the third generation of the natural elf empire's queen. As for the first and second generation queens, they had already fallen during the ancient war of gods. After that, she succeeded to the throne of queen, developed and expanded the natural elf tribe, and at the same time, cultivated a large number of gods of truth to protect the elf tribe." The elf queen nodded slightly, then ignored the goddess of light, and cast her eyes on the elf goddess Isabel in the natural goddess camp, with a slight smile on her lips, and said, "Your Majesty the elf goddess, it is my honor to meet you." Elf goddess Isabel had a complicated expression. The elf tribe she created has now become the one who blocks her, and the ruler of the elf tribe seems to be as powerful as her. Where can she go to reason with this? Is truth stronger than faith? How is it possible? Elf goddess Isabel immediately forgot this terrible idea in her mind. Her Majesty the Elf Queen said again, "I'm sorry, Your Majesty, in order to protect the peace of all races, we have to appear here and stop the god of faith from stepping out of the god and demon continent." Elf goddess Isabel said, "The faith god system did not come to invade the god and demon continent. This is also the hometown of our god of faith." The Elf Queen shook her head. She didn't say anything, but her attitude was quite clear. Soon, a stalemate appeared in the two god system camps. Although both sides did not hesitate to break out a god war for their own purposes, no god really wanted a god war to occur. After all, it would lead to the fall of countless gods. Of course, the gods of the evil god system hidden in the void did not think so. And if the god of killing, or the god of war appeared, I'm afraid that they would take the initiative to provoke a god war. Because war and killing can enhance their divine power. But no matter what, the world outside the domain has fallen into a strange silence. It was not until the ancient gods spoke that the two sides reluctantly extinguished their anger and held a negotiation between the god camps, led by the powerful gods. Black Technology Castle. Tang Xiaofan didn't know what happened in the outer world. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care too much, because he had long speculated that the god of faith would return to the land of gods and demons. This was destined, because the elf goddess Isabel had revealed her flaws in front of him earlier. Tang Xiaofan even speculated that it was possible that the dimensional demons would also come, realizing the long-awaited four-camp war of gods. Tang Xiaofan was only concerned about one thing now, that is, Tony Stark, Iron Man in front of him. He finally came completely. The real world. I'm finally here. Stark stretched out his incredibly strong body, his voice was filled with a terrifying majesty, and the other warriors all knelt on one knee respectfully. Then he looked at Tang Xiaofan again, and his smile suddenly withered, becoming extremely solemn. Then he slowly walked to Tang Xiaofan's side, saluted respectfully and said, "Praise you, Almighty Lord. Thank you for bringing me out of that illusory world." Illusory world? Tang Xiaofan looked puzzled. Stark said respectfully, "That is the world woven by faith and holy light. It is still in an illusory space. Only you, the Supreme, can make that world a reality." Tang Xiaofan suddenly realized that the illusory world is most likely the farmer's world in the minds of farmers. That is not a real world, and even the farmer clan does not belong to real life. Except for Tang Xiaofan, there are no farmers in the thousands of plains. There is no summoning restriction, and any profession can be engaged. Once you master the power of tools, you can burst out with unparalleled power and kill gods like cutting melons and vegetables. This is a unique soldier. Compared with other farmers, Tony Stark in front of him seems to know more clearly that the farmer's world is a product of illusion and is not real. That's why he expects Tang Xiaofan to make illusion a reality. Let the farmer's world descend into the real world. That should be the Marvel world descending on the god and demon continent, with mobile phones, TVs, fine wine and bikinis. That is the real world. Tang Xiaofan didn't think much about it. If possible, he would naturally create a farmer god world to rule over thousands of plains. But now he has to gain a foothold first. His eyes fell on Stark. Unlike other farmers, he did not wear the same uniform, but a unique suit. At this moment, Stark's information appeared in his field of vision. This was what he was most concerned about, and everything else was secondary. Scientist, Tony Stark. Current growth status, Scientist, Strength level, Early middle god, Loyalty 100, Complete form, Peak superhero of the gods, Early middle god. Tang Xiaofan took a deep breath, and felt that his worldview had collapsed. He was born as a middle god, which was really terrifying. At this moment, Stark suddenly looked up at the dark sky and said to Tang Xiaofan, "My lord, there are gods fighting in the outer world." Observing the power of gods is a confrontation between the belief system and another system. Tang Xiaofan was surprised, and he could not feel anything. But thinking about Stark's middle god level, he was relieved. Tang Xiaofan said, "It seems that the faith god system can't wait to return to the god and demon continent. They are willing to use a war of gods to compete for living space with the truth god system of the god and demon continent." Stark's expression suddenly became cold, and he said, "A group of weak gods dare to covet the Lord's domain. Lord, rest assured, when I recover to my complete form, I will definitely suppress them all." His complete form is a peak superhero of the Lord God, a super strong man who can kill Thanos, so he is naturally qualified to say such words. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Don't pay attention to them for the time being. What we have to do now is to work hard to develop the castle and improve our strength. When we become stronger, everything will be easy to say. Follow your instructions." Stark retracted his gaze and at the same time restrained his divine power and even the fluctuations of divine power. He didn't want to attract the attention of those gods outside the domain because of his own existence, thus affecting the Lord's development and growth plan. Tang Xiaofan had no choice. If Stark was at the level of the Lord God when something happened, he would go to the world outside the domain to join in the fun. At this time, a soldier reported that the battlefield outside the city had been cleaned up. Tang Xiaofan immediately put aside the affairs of the outside world. What he had to do next was to upgrade the Black Technology Castle to a royal capital and establish his own kingdom, the Black Technology Heaven. Stark had arrived, and the Black Technology Heaven was about to be established. It could be said that it was a double happiness. Chapter 404. Over 700,000 pieces of equipment is crazy. The holy white light enveloped the Black Technology Castle. Even though it was dark and the blood moon was in the sky, the black technology castle was still as bright as day. Looking down from the sky, in the entire forest, only the black technology castle was the most dazzling. It was like a bright star dotted in a black sea. The battlefield outside the city had been cleaned up, and tens of thousands of soldiers returned to the castle in an orderly manner. The top soldiers, intermediate and advanced soldiers, and even low-level soldiers all lived in the outer city area. They were the largest in number, and the outer city area was the widest, suitable for their settlement. In a blink of an eye, the population of the black technology castle had exceeded 200,000. You should know that the population of the black technology castle had just exceeded 100,000 2 days ago. This war gave the black technology castle too many bonuses, especially the millions of troops assembled by several alliances, which helped Tang Xiaofan a lot and indirectly promoted the development of the black technology castle. If there were no alliances with the Alliance of Gods to besiege the black technology castle, it would be unknown when the population of the castle under Tang Xiaofan would break through the 200,000 mark. Even if you want to exceed 1 million, you have to clean up the entire forest before you can achieve it. For Tang Xiaofan, those top castle lords who were slaughtered by him have done a great thing. In the core area, 2 dazzling golden lights shone from the elf mother tree in the Monastery of Light. These 2 top military buildings are also being upgraded. Before, their levels were all level 6, and they are currently being upgraded to level 7. It only takes 1 million soul stones to upgrade military buildings from level 6 to level 7. This amount of soul stones is nothing to Tang Xiaofan, so he chose to upgrade the elf mother tree in the Monastery of Light without any hesitation. At the same time, Tang Xiaofan took a look at his own soulstone reserves. Soulstones, more than 133.2 million. Upgrading the farmer factory consumed a total of 110 million soulstones. The remaining soulstone reserves are enough to upgrade the elf mother tree to level 9. As for the Monastery of Light, it depends on the harvest on the battlefield this time, but there is a lack of soulstones. Tang Xiaofan roughly estimated that, if the soulstones harvested from the battlefield outside the city and the battlefield in the Dragon Nest area can add up to 90 million, then the Monastery of Light can also be upgraded to level 9. So, it depends on whether the harvest on the battlefield is good enough. Tang Xiaofan did not pay much attention to the upgrade of the elf mother tree in the Monastery of Light. After all, it is the same mode, and there will be no accidents. After the upgrade is completed, he will click the upgrade button separately. He is taking his warriors to count the spoils. Because there are too many spoils, he may have to wait until tomorrow morning to count them alone. The main spoils counted are soulstones, equipment, blueprints and other items. As for the corpses of the alien beasts on the battlefield, they were handed over to the light hunters, light nuns, goblins and dwarves under their command to decompose and collect. The alien beasts are not much different from wild monsters. Some edible meat can be obtained by decomposition and collection. The human-shaped soldiers are not good. Of course, Tang Xiaofan didn't dare to imagine that it was too terrifying to be able to decompose food from human-shaped soldiers. After the joint efforts of Tang Xiaofan and the soldiers, the inventory took about an hour. Finally, all the spoils were sorted out. This also included the harvest from the battlefield in the Dragon Nest area. In addition, all the treasures of the Dragon Nest were gathered in Tang Xiaofan's hands. However, those treasures were not brought back by Tang Xiaofan's soldiers, but were offered to him by the dragons. Now, there are about 2,000 dragons still alive in the Dragon Nest, and all of them have become Tang Xiaofan's devout believers. They are very happy to be able to offer their treasures to the God of Faith, and get the protection of the God of Faith. What is the treasure? What they want is eternal life. Only by believing in the omnipotent Lord can they obtain eternal life. So when facing Tang Xiaofan, the stingy dragons also became very generous. They collected all their treasures and the treasures of those fallen dragons, and sent them all to Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle. In the treasure of the Dragon's Nest, the most numerous items are not soulstones or equipment, but gems, crystals, and gold coins. The dragons like these shiny and golden things the most. These gems and crystals seem to be of little use, but if they can be sold to the local empire in the central area, they will be very valuable. Especially the noble ladies in the human empire love these things the most. This matter still depends on the upcoming Yuan Chamber of Commerce. Looking at the mountains of gems, crystals, gold coins, gold and silver utensils not far away, Tang Xiaofan is also looking forward to the arrival of Miss Jonah. In the two wars, a total of more than 48.6 million soulstones were harvested. It's a bit too little. Tang Xiaofan whispered with some regret. In order to upgrade the Monastery of Light to level 9, he only has a difference of about 90 million soulstones. But the soulstones harvested are only half of the difference, which obviously cannot upgrade the Monastery of Light to a level 9 military building. Actually, this is also expected. After all, the strength of the soldiers in the Alliance army is too low, and there are many soldiers at the lowest level of level 2 and 4. I thought too much to expect that up to 90 million soulstones would be exploded. The stronger the soldiers, the higher the probability of exploding soulstones. And those soldiers in human form cannot explode soulstones, so the number of soulstones is too scarce. It's okay. After all, the elf mother tree can be upgraded to level 9. Tang Xiaofan comforted himself and took another look at his own soulstone reserves. Soulstone, more than 181.8 million. With all the spoils of war, the soulstone reserves are less than 200 million. Naturally, it is impossible to upgrade 2 military buildings to level 9 at the same time. At this time, Tang Xiaofan saw that the elf mother tree and the Monastery of Light in the distance had been upgraded to level 7, so he immediately walked over and continued to upgrade the 2 military buildings. The next level is a level 8 military building. A total of 20 million soulstones are required. For Tang Xiaofan, this was still nothing. Seeing the 2 military buildings once again enveloped by brilliant golden light, Tang Xiaofan turned back and dealt with the equipment and the spoils. There are more than 670,000 pieces of equipment in a damaged state. There are more than 140,000 pieces of intact equipment. Except for more than 70,000 pieces of equipment of slightly better quality left to equip my non-warrior combat arms, all other equipment will be put on the trading area. Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate and immediately put all the equipment, totaling more than 700,000 pieces, on the trading channel. This time, the equipment was put on the shelves, which once again set off the entire world chat channel. Because the number of equipment was too much, as high as 700,000 pieces. Here it comes again. It's worth my weight. More than 700,000 pieces of equipment. It's crazy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 405. Perhaps another true god will be born. So many equipments are enough to arm 1,000,000 soldiers. Horrible. Boss Tang Xiaofan is making a lot of money. More than 700,000 pieces of equipment. How many resources must have been exchanged for this? Although most of the equipment is in a damaged state, the total amount of supplies that can be exchanged is also an astronomical figure. A war can harvest so many pieces of equipment? Nonsense. That's 1,000,000 troops. In addition to the soldiers in the form of alien beasts, there are also hundreds of thousands of humanoid soldiers. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, harvesting more than 700,000 pieces of equipment. Isn't it a very normal thing? I still think it's less. It's not a small number either. After all, many of the Alliance army are only low-level and mid-level castle lords, and the number of their equipment is not much. I envy Boss Tang Xiaofan. I can't sleep. I'm just waiting to see the world announcement. World announcement? Boss Tang Xiaofan's castle has been upgraded to a high-level main city, and the next level is the royal capital. A castle at the royal capital level will definitely have a world announcement. I see. Boss Tang Xiaofan is about to establish a kingdom. I wonder if the territory of Tang Xiaofan's kingdom will allow the lord of the castle and us wanderers to settle there. I want to know, too. If it's allowed, I'll move out of the heart of the castle and head to the forest. +1 Tang Xiaofan didn't pay attention to the lively world chat channel. He continued to deal with his spoils. After the equipment was dealt with, the next thing was the blueprints. A total of more than 108,600 blueprints were harvested. It's really terrifying. Even Tang Xiaofan couldn't help but feel his heartbeat speed up when he saw the blue blueprints piled up in front of him. Nearly 110,000 blueprints. How amazing is this? Tang Xiaofan has been here for so long, and he has never obtained so many blueprints at once. In the past, hunting, and even attacking those dynasty forces, at most only a few hundred blueprints were harvested. This time, the blueprint harvest exceeded 100,000. If it is spread out, it will inevitably shake the entire world chat channel again, making countless castle lords envious and jealous, and even jealous. Put away all the drawings for the number of troops and the evolution of troops. Put away the advanced drawings as well. Put away some other special drawings, such as equipment drawings and magic skill drawings for now. I'll use them later. There are more than 90,000 drawings left, all of which are ordinary building drawings. These ordinary building drawings, the ones that are needed, such as the lookout tower, the equipment shop, the smelting furnace, etc., were all given to the elves under his command to build. The ones that are not needed, such as the arrow tower, the fence, the city wall, etc., were all put on the trading channel by him. As for the selling price, he did not mark them one by one. That would be too tiring. Just like the more than 700,000 pieces of equipment, the selling price was all given to the game official to customize, and they were automatically sold according to the market price. This special function of the game official is very suitable for a castle owner like him. In addition, the remaining gems, crystals, gold and silverwares, antique artworks, Tang Xiaofan stored them in the castle warehouse. A total of more than 10 million pieces. And they are all treasures from the dragon's nest. Add to that the gems, gold and silverwares he had obtained from hundreds of castle lords before. He now has more than 20 million items of this kind. These things have no practical value for the castle lords, but they can be sold to the local empires in the central area. Then they can be exchanged for a large amount of supplies. Tang Xiaofan's actions are equivalent to sucking the blood of the local empire to feed its castle forces and speed up the development of the black technology castle. Almost done. Tang Xiaofan breathed a sigh of relief. The mountains piled up on the castle's open space have been cleared away by it. He now has a total of about 10,000 army evolution drawings, army quantity drawings, advanced building drawings, and rare special magic skill drawings that have not been dealt with. Let's talk about it tomorrow. The reason is simple. It's too late. The world outside the city is as dark as ink. Looking at the time in the world chat channel, it's already 11 o'clock in the evening. Tang Xiaofan has more important things to do. Seeing that the upgrade of the 2 army buildings has been completed, and they have been upgraded to level 8, he did not hesitate to upgrade the elf mother tree again. The upgrade of the elf mother tree to level 9 also consumes 100 million soul stones, and the soul stones in his hand are completely enough. As for the upgrade of the Monastery of Light to level 9, he will see later. It's just because he is short of money. 1 hour. There is still time. Under Tang Xiaofan's gaze, the elf mother tree was once again shrouded in brilliant golden light. As long as the elf mother tree is upgraded to level 9 before 12 o'clock in the evening, the breeding of elf troops tomorrow will be bred according to the specifications of the 9th level troop building. After 12 o'clock, the upgrade has not yet ended. Then the number of elf troops bred tomorrow can only be the number of 8th level troop buildings. There is still a big difference in the number of elf troops bred between level 8 and level 9. Tang Xiaofan suddenly wondered, and he waved to the big elf Monica standing not far away. Monica, natural elf, identity, commander of the natural elf corps of the Black Technology Castle, current growth status, adult, level, mid-stage demigod loyalty. 100 points, die hard, growth potential limit, peak demigod. Lord. The great elf Monica saluted respectfully. Since being promoted to demigod, this former great elder of the elf tribe has become even more beautiful and charming. Every move exudes a suffocating charm. Tang Xiaofan asked, "Where is Olivia?" The great elf Monica replied respectfully, reporting to the Lord, "My mother has returned to her original body. She should have gone into seclusion to upgrade her level." What level did she upgrade to? Tang Xiaofan stopped abruptly before he finished speaking. He suddenly remembered that Olivia's original body is a troop building elf mother tree. While the elf mother tree is upgraded, Olivia can also gain great benefits. This time, he upgraded the level of the elf mother tree from level 6 to level 9, 3 levels in a row. Obviously, Olivia's gains will be very terrifying. Could it be that Olivia can directly become a god this time? This is not impossible, because the elf mother tree is about to become the top level military building. As the spirit of the elf mother tree, Olivia's gains will definitely be very amazing, and it may even be greater than the gains from killing tens of millions of enemies. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan also looked forward to it. Once Olivia is promoted madly and enters the level of gods, then he will have 2 gods under his command, a middle level god and a lower level god. Sweeping the Death Swamp, the Barley Highlands and the Karami Prairie, isn't it like playing? He can even send 2 armies, one to capture the Barley Highlands and the other to attack the Karami Prairie. Finally, the 2 armies will meet and push the Death Swamp. Chapter 406, The Horrifying Effects of the Coming God War. I hope Olivia can successfully ascend to the true god in one fell swoop. Tang Xiaofan looked at the elven mother tree shrouded in golden light and silently blessed. Then he came to the vicinity of the main castle. Black Technology Castle. Current level, advanced main city, ordinary buildings, warehouses, residential houses, noble courtyards, small gardens of elven, city walls, watchtowers, refining shops, smelting furnaces, moats, special buildings, farmer's factory, elven mother tree, holy light temple, faith altar, space teleportation magic array. Monastery of Light, upgrade requirements. 10 million units of wood, 8 million units of stone, 5 million units of refined iron. Next level, primary king's capital, current status, invincible, current camp, light, kindness, lawfulness. Supplies are abundant. Do you want to upgrade the castle? Yes, no, yes. Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate and directly chose yes. In an instant, golden light descended. It completely enveloped his main castle and even the entire directly affiliated territory. This moment has finally arrived. Tang Xiaofan took a deep breath. When he came to the god and demon continent, he was looking forward to establishing a kingdom, becoming the king of a country, leading a powerful kingdom army, and attacking the central area of the god and demon continent. Now, he has finally waited for it. After his castle is upgraded to the capital, he can establish his own dynasty and integrate into the heart of the dynasty. Let his dynasty Black Technology Kingdom be recognized by the laws of the world. Although Tang Xiaofan didn't know what the use of getting the recognition of the laws of the world was, his intuition told him that this was very important, and it was even likely to be related to the fight for the throne of the God King. As time passed, under the cover of golden light, Tang Xiaofan's castle's direct territory was also expanding rapidly outward. Wherever he passed, countless ancient trees, bluestones, and even lakes and mountains disappeared out of thin air. Anything that stood in the way was instantly turned into nothingness. All turned into a flat ground paved with large bluestone slabs. I don't know how long it took, but the upgrade of the castle was finally completed. Almost at the same time, a world announcement appeared in the world chat channel. The golden characters shone brightly. It shook the entire castle power. World announcement. Congratulations to the Castle Lord Tang Xiaofan for taking the lead in upgrading his Black Technology Castle to the level of the royal capital, opening up a new era for the castle power. This is a great era for the struggle for dynastic hegemony. Celebrate together. Congratulations. I hope that the castle lords can take the Black Technology Castle as their goal, establish their own dynasty power, and compete for the only throne of the God King in the 10,000 races competition. Strive, castle lords, the God War is about to come, and the world will be devastated. As castle lords, do you hope that you will be annihilated in the battlefield of the gods? I wish the remaining castle lords to become gods. As soon as the world announcement came out, the world chat channel was boiling. Countless castle lords stayed up all night waiting for this moment, and finally, it came. Sure enough, the blood moon might be covered by dark clouds, but Tang Xiaofan never let them down. But soon, many castle lords and wanderers regretted it. I shouldn't stay up late waiting, because the information revealed in the world announcement made many people feel cold. As expected, boss Tang Xiaofan finally upgraded the castle to a royal capital. This is the first royal capital among the castle forces. I heard that there are already top castle lords who have established dynasty forces, but their castles are only primary main cities, and the dynasty forces they have established can only be said to be pseudo-dynasties, small kingdoms. A dynasty with a primary main city, is that also called a dynasty? Only a royal capital like boss Tang Xiaofan's can be called a real dynasty force. That's not necessarily the case. To establish a real dynasty, you need to integrate the divine object dynasty heart, so that you can get the recognition of the world laws of the gods and demons continent. I don't know if boss Tang Xiaofan has the dynasty heart. I shouldn't, right? It is said that only by conquering a dynasty level force can you get the fragments of the dynasty heart, and it takes 9 fragments to synthesize a complete dynasty heart. That's no use. Alas, it's too difficult to establish a kingdom that can be recognized by the laws of the world. I didn't expect that there are things that boss Tang Xiaofan can't do. Brother upstairs, it's not easy for brother Tang Xiaofan to upgrade his castle to a royal capital, okay? Among the hundreds of castle lords, only a few own a primary main city, let alone a royal capital. In short, brother Tang Xiaofan is my idol. I envy brother Tang Xiaofan. My castle is just a mid-level town. I don't even know when I can reach the level of main city, let alone a more advanced royal capital. A royal capital level castle can probably only be owned by a few castle lords. For ordinary castle lords, it will be good enough to own a main city in the future. After all, resources are limited, and they must always be prepared for attacks from other castle lords. At this moment, the information in the world chat channel suddenly became terrifying. What the hell? The War of Gods? Didn't the War of Gods end in ancient times? It is said that in ancient times, dimensional demons invaded the continent of gods and demons, and countless gods of faith were killed and had to leave this world. Later, the god of truth rose up and saved all the races on the continent of gods and demons. This world has been ruled by the god of truth. The gods of faith have been expelled, so how can there be a war of gods? Oh my god. If the war of gods comes, aren't we all finished? Fuck. My most powerful troops are only level 20, not even level 21, let alone gods more powerful than demigods. Once the war of gods comes, I won't even be worthy of being cannon fodder. It's not going to be a hell level of difficulty, is it? Game officials, come out and give an explanation. At this stage, except for a few demigods under the command of boss Tang Xiaofan, other castle lords rarely have even level 21 troops. Whenever there is a war of gods, we are bound to be slaughtered. Demigods are useless in the face of immortal gods. That is to say, even Tang Xiaofan can't stand the power of the gods. If there are gods attacking the black technology castle, Tang Xiaofan will be finished. The attitude of this game towards ordinary castle lords is quite bad. Now even the god war has emerged. It's simply not giving us a way to survive. The world chat channel was wailing. Even those top castle lords were worried after seeing the content of the world announcement. In the castle forces, they are all extremely powerful. If it weren't for Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle, they would be standing at the top of the castle forces, overlooking countless castle lords and wanderers. But it's just a castle force. In the local forces, the power they have now is nothing. If the god war really comes, then their fate will definitely become extremely bumpy. Because any god, even the weakest lower god, is enough to easily destroy their castle, and no castle lord can resist the power of the gods. They believe that even Tang Xiaofan is the same. After all, Tang Xiaofan only has 8 demigods. The power gap between demigods and gods is as huge as the sky. They have every reason to believe that once a god invades the black technology castle, Tang Xiaofan will be dead. Of course. This is because they don't know that in addition to the deposed demigod, Tang Xiaofan also has a middle level god level Stark. If they knew, they wouldn't be so sure. A castle lord said in the world chat channel, "Don't worry too much, the war of gods will definitely not come immediately, we still have time to continue to develop." Chapter 407, continue to upgrade the castle, intermediate royal capital. You know, we are the lords of the castle, and our development speed exceeds the imagination of the gods. It will only take 1 or 2 months at most, and a god will appear in our castle forces. 1 or 2 months. Are you so confident? I'm answering for him. I'm talking about Boss Tang Xiaofan. Indeed, within a month, Boss Tang Xiaofan will definitely become a god. Although we can't compare with Boss Tang Xiaofan, it's not that difficult to become a god and cultivate god level soldiers. At least compared to local forces, it's very simple for us to become gods. In at most half a year, we will not be afraid of the war of gods. Half a year, that's too long. Don't worry, the war of gods is impossible to happen right away anyway. That's right, even if there is a war of gods, the target will not be us. After all, we don't even have god level soldiers, so what are we participating in actual combat? I suspect that the faith pantheon that disappeared in ancient times has returned. Today's continent of gods and demons is ruled by the truth pantheon. Once the faith pantheon returns, a war of gods is bound to break out between the two camps, and our castle forces will be outside the war of gods. That's right. We are too weak now. The god of faith and the god of truth will not care about us at all. The protagonists of the initial war of gods must be the god of faith and the god of truth. Because we are not worthy. By the way, our castle lords and the god of faith seem to be the same kind of people. After all, they all became gods through faith. If the god of faith returns to the land of gods and demons, can we use their power to quickly develop the castle? It's not impossible. It would be great if we could get the help of a powerful god of faith. Surpassing Tang Xiaofan is not a dream. Haha. Now that you said that, I suddenly look forward to the return of the god of faith. Me too. Some top castle lords also had similar calculations in their hearts. There is definitely no way for castle forces to coexist with local forces. But they and the god of faith seem to have the opportunity to cooperate with each other. After all, both camps are based on faith and have a common language. If they can get the help of the body of faith, their development speed will definitely become very fast. Even surpassing Tang Xiaofan is not an impossible thing. Thinking of this, many top castle lords even began to look forward to the coming of the god war. Of course, they were mainly looking forward to the return of the gods they believed in, so that they could benefit from it. Suddenly I found that there are only a few castle lords left. Yes, there were so many castle lords when the war first came. In the blink of an eye, almost half of the castle lords have disappeared. In the past month of the war, too many castle lords have been eliminated. Every day, a large number of castles are destroyed, and countless castle lords fall and disappear like meteors. Some castle lords have changed their jobs and become wanderers. After all, only a few have changed their jobs and become wanderers. More castle lords still died. There is no way. The game itself is cruel. Many castle lords lamented, feeling a sense of sympathy. They are still alive, and luck plays a part. Don't worry, as the castle power develops, our strength will become stronger and stronger, and fewer castle lords will be eliminated in the future. With my current castle strength, I'm no longer worried about wild monsters. Me too. Let me say something. Can some castle lords who think they are powerful stop attacking my castle? Damn, if you are awesome, go attack the Black Technology Castle. I also want to say that some castle lords are so disgusting. Not only do they attack my castle, but they also sneak attack my army outside. They are already very weak, but they are still beaten. It's terrible. I'm not afraid. It doesn't matter to me. I have contacted more than 100 castle lords and set up a teleportation array. Once a castle lord comes to attack my castle, I will kill him directly. Haha. I have killed a top castle lord. Brother upstairs is awesome. The chat room of the world chat channel gradually became crooked and quickly changed from discussing the world announcement to how to prevent the attack of the evil castle lord. Many castle lords and even wanderers made suggestions in the world chat channel. Seeing this, some evil castle lords who were mainly engaged in wars felt their scalps tingling. They dared not be so reckless anymore. As for Tang Xiaofan, he was still continuing his path of castle upgrade. Along with the world announcement, there was also a message prompt unique to him. Congratulations, Castle Lord. Your black technology castle has been upgraded to a primary capital, and the territory directly under the castle has been expanded to 1,000 kilometers, and the castle's sphere of influence has been increased to 3,000 kilometers. The defense value of the castle heart has been increased tenfold. Your black technology castle has greatly increased its influence and reputation in the god and demon continent. The influence and reputation of your castle power in the forest have been greatly increased. Congratulations to the castle lord. Your black technology castle is world famous in the forest. Is there no reward for upgrading the king? After asking the game official, Tang Xiaofan expressed regret. When he upgraded the primary main city, the game official rewarded him with a natural godhead without attributes. As a result, there is no reward for upgrading the primary capital now, which makes him somewhat disappointed. But he didn't take it to heart. He had already figured out the stingy nature of the game officials. He even suspected that the game officials didn't reward him with the godhood out of generosity, but wanted to suppress his black technology castle because his development speed was too fast. As a result, he failed to suppress it and instead destroyed the millions of troops of several alliances. The strength of the black technology castle became even stronger. Seeing that this method didn't work, the game officials simply ignored him. Of course, this was just his random guess. Without hesitation, Tang Xiaofan opened the castle upgrade information again. Prompt that the supplies are sufficient. Is the upgrade successful? Yes. No. Yes. Tang Xiaofan chose yes without hesitation. The resources consumed by upgrading the primary king just now were nothing to him. He still has more than 5.8 billion wood, more than 3.6 billion stones, and more than 2 billion refined iron. Upgrading to the intermediate king requires 100 million units of wood, 50 million units of stone, and 30 million units of refined iron. For other castle lords, this is a huge amount of resources. No one could come up with it, but it was easy for him. He not only wanted to upgrade the intermediate capital, but also the advanced capital later. As for the imperial capital, it was not enough as expected. Chapter 408, the second level 9 arms building elf mother tree. Soon, the newly upgraded black technology castle was once again enveloped by brilliant golden light. During this time, Tang Xiaofan asked the game official how to use the dynasty heart. At the same time, he thought about it, and a golden light flew out from his forehead. During the Beast Tide event, after obtaining the divine object dynasty heart, it automatically merged into Tang Xiaofan's body. When the kingdom is established, it can be taken out and used. The appearance of the dynasty heart looks like a golden gem with a diameter of several centimeters, in the shape of a 72-sided polygon, emitting golden light. Very beautiful. But that's all. There is nothing special about it. Of course, its role is not small. It can even be said that its value is comparable to a divine artifact. Otherwise, how can it be called a divine object? Heart of the Dynasty. Rank, Divine Item. Description. The heart of the dynasty is the core of the dynasty's power. With it, you will establish a dynasty recognized by the world's laws and the local empire. Effect 1. Greatly improve your dynasty's luck and the loyalty of the kingdom's people. Effect 2. Increase the cultivation speed of the kingdom's people by 20%. Effect 3. Greatly increase the growth rate of food crops in the kingdom's territory and the probability of newborns. Special effect, unknown. At the same time, Tang Xiaofan also received an answer from the game official. After establishing the capital, the lord of the castle can choose to merge the heart of the dynasty with the heart of the castle, and evolve it into the heart of the kingdom. At that time, your kingdom will be protected by the laws of the world. So that's how it is. Tang Xiaofan suddenly realized. The heart of the castle is the core of the castle, and the heart of the dynasty should be integrated with it. Tang Xiaofan asked again, what are the special effects of the heart of the dynasty? When the lord of the castle merges the heart of the dynasty with the heart of the castle, he can check the special effects contained in it by himself. Okay, Tang Xiaofan did not ask any more questions, waiting for the upgrade of the black technology castle to be completed. At this time, he looked at the elf mother tree in the distance. So much time has passed, and the upgrade of the elf mother tree has long been completed. It has directly soared to more than 1,000 meters high, with lush branches and leaves, like a real towering ancient tree. The beautiful elves are all around the elf mother tree, sitting cross-legged and entering a state of meditation. It is precisely because the life and natural magic emitted by the elf mother tree, after it has been upgraded to level 9, is very terrifying, almost forming a mist. For natural elves, life and natural magic are very useful, which can improve their practice speed. In other words, even if they do not kill the enemy, with the help of the elf mother tree, in level 9 troop building, their ranks can be quickly improved. Of course, this is just daily practice. For the castle troops, the shortcut to improving their ranks is to kill the enemy and gain energy value. But there is no way to get a faster chance of promotion than killing the enemy. In Tang Xiaofan's vision, the information of the elf mother tree also appeared. Elf mother tree, top level military building, faction, good lawful, current level, level 9, can breed 3000 natural elves every day, required for upgrade, unknown. Special reminder, the level 9 military building elf mother tree has a high probability of breeding elemental elves, ancient elves and other super top military types. The level 9 elf mother tree can breed 3000 elf military types every day. Horrible. Tang Xiaofan couldn't help but sigh. You know, the combat power of an elf is far beyond other military types. The number of natural elves bred by the elf mother tree is as high as 3000 per day, which is so terrifying. This is the official military recruitment mechanism of the game. For military buildings of the same level, the lower the growth potential limit of the military type, the more can be recruited. Tang Xiaofan believes that once the Monastery of Light is promoted to level 9, the number of bright military types that can be recruited every day will be more than that of the elf mother tree. Because the light troops are weaker than the natural elves, there is a gap between them as top level troops. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan looked at the light monastery on the other side again. After upgrading to level 8, the appearance of the light monastery looks more magnificent and exudes holy light. Light monastery, alignment, light, good lawful, current level, level 8. 2000 light troops can be recruited every day, and the light nuns, light doomsday, light knights and other troops can be randomly summoned. Upgrade required. 100 million soulstones. Special reminder, the level 8 troop building light monastery has a higher probability of summoning top level troops such as paladins, cardinals, holy light pegasus, etc. Level 8 light monastery, recruiting 2000 light troops every day, if it is upgraded to level 9. The number of light troops recruited every day can still be 5000. Tang Xiaofan's mouth twitched slightly. This terrifying number. If only it could be exchanged for his elf mother tree. He shook his head and took a look at the remaining soulstone reserves. Soulstones, more than 61.8 million. To upgrade the Monastery of Light to level 9, there is still a shortage of about 40 million soulstones. 40 million soulstones is equivalent to slaughtering the millions of troops of the alliances again. Most of the hundreds of millions of soulstones that Tang Xiaofan harvested came from the castle resource reserves of hundreds of castle lords. There are not many soulstones harvested from the battlefield. Adding up, there are only tens of millions. In other words, if he relies on killing enemies to explode soulstones, he will probably have to slaughter a group of enemies that are not much different from the millions of troops of the alliance to gather the soulstone requirements for the Monastery of Light to upgrade to level 9. Don't think about it for the time being. Tang Xiaofan retracted his gaze and waited for the upgrade of the Black Technology Castle to be completed. Time passed, and finally, the golden light shrouding the Black Technology Castle dissipated, and Tang Xiaofan's main castle had already turned into a magnificent palace, no longer the castle before. After all, the castle has become a royal capital. A royal capital should naturally have a palace. Congratulations, Lord of the Castle, your Black Tech Castle has been upgraded to an intermediate royal capital, and the territory directly under the castle has expanded to 2000 kilometers, and the castle sphere of influence has increased to 5000 kilometers. The defense value of the castle heart has increased by 30 times. The influence and reputation of your Black Tech Castle in the God and Demon continent have been greatly improved. This is the message prompt that appears after the Black Tech Castle is upgraded. It is a very simple message, but it is enough to shock the world. While most castle lords only have town level castles, and only a very few top castle lords have primary main cities, Tang Xiaofan has an intermediate royal capital. Such a gap can no longer be described in words. However, Tang Xiaofan did not stop there, because there are still a large amount of supplies stored in the castle warehouse. Enough to upgrade the castle to a high-level royal capital. Upgrading to a high-level royal capital requires 1 billion wood, 800 million stone units, and 500 million refined iron units. Compared with the previous upgrade to an intermediate royal capital, the demand has increased tenfold. Such a huge amount of resources, no top castle lord can come up with it. However, it is not difficult for Tang Xiaofan. Chapter 409. The castle lords of the two regions are in big trouble. Tang Xiaofan took a look at the material reserves in the castle warehouse. More than 4 billion units of food, more than 5.7 billion units of wood, more than 3.5 billion units of stone, more than 2 billion units of refined iron. Just now when he upgraded the intermediate royal capital, it seemed that his stored resources had not decreased at all. It was because he was too rich. After all, it was all the material reserves from hundreds of castle lords, which was a huge amount. Unfortunately, it was almost impossible to upgrade the imperial capital. The reason was simple. Now the materials needed to upgrade the advanced royal capital were 10 times that of before. I think the materials needed to upgrade the imperial capital would also be 10 times, or even more. With my current material reserves, if they were increased tenfold, it would not be enough to directly upgrade the imperial capital. However, the advanced royal capital was enough. If an imperial capital was directly built, it would be difficult to withstand the pressure from the local empires in the central area. After all, a force that was free from the central area, but had an imperial capital, was about to establish an imperial power. What would the local empires in the central area think? It was courting death. Those empires would probably not hesitate to send the army of gods to conquer. The kingdom forces are different, because outside the central area, there are kingdom forces everywhere, and it is difficult to threaten the ruling status of the various empires over the god and demon continent. Without threats, they will naturally ignore it. Don't consider the empire for the time being. If the strength is not enough, even if the resources are available, it cannot be established. Now, what I have to do is to upgrade the advanced royal capital and establish my own dynasty level power. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan opened the information of the castle again. Prompt that the supplies are sufficient. Do you want to upgrade the castle? Yes, no, yes. Tang Xiaofan immediately chose yes, and in an instant, the dazzling golden light appeared again. It covered all the direct territories of the Black Technology Castle. Just now, after the castle was upgraded to an intermediate royal capital, his direct territory had reached a terrifying level of 2,000 kilometers in diameter. The so-called direct territory refers to the area covered by the city wall. Inside the city wall is the direct territory of the castle. And outside the city wall, it belongs to the sphere of influence of the castle. A direct territory of 2,000 kilometers is a very terrifying thing. You know, the entire forest is only about 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers long. In other words, his castle now occupies 1/3 of the forest. You can imagine how huge it is. But at this moment, Tang Xiaofan was suddenly stunned. Because he suddenly thought of a problem. The direct territory expanded outward, and everything around it, including ancient trees, jungles, lakes, mountains, etc., all disappeared out of thin air and turned into a flat land paved with large bluestone floors. Doesn't that mean that those wild monsters and local forces will also disappear? Tang Xiaofan hurriedly asked the game official about this question, and soon he got a response. The ancient trees, jungles, lakes, mountains, wild monsters, local forces, tribes, etc. that disappeared because the castle lord upgraded the castle will be randomly teleported to other areas of the world. Looking at the official reply from the game, Tang Xiaofan's mouth twitched slightly, feeling that he had lost more than 100 million. If he cleared all the wild monsters and local forces in the forest before upgrading the castle, he would definitely be able to obtain a lot of supplies. But now, because of the upgrade of the Black Tech Castle, all those things were randomly placed all over the world. indirectly caused him huge losses. What a big loss. Tang Xiaofan was very distressed. Originally, those things in the forest belonged to him. Just because he upgraded the castle, those things left him. It was too much of a loss. The most important thing is that his black tech castle is still upgrading and continues to expand outward. He is very suspicious of one thing. That is, when the black tech castle is upgraded and becomes a high-level royal capital, the entire forest will disappear and all become the castle's direct territory paved with large bluestone floors. This is not impossible. After all, the diameter of the direct territory of the intermediate royal capital has reached 2,000 kilometers. Once it is upgraded to a high-level royal capital, it may reach 5,000 kilometers. The narrowest part of the forest is less than 5,000 kilometers. In other words, after the upgrade is completed, his high-level royal capital is likely to directly cover the forest. From then on, there will be no forest in this area. There is only its black technology paradise. But it won't cover the whole forest, because the location of the black technology castle is not the center of the forest, but the southwest. The expansion of the castle's direct territory is to expand in all directions, not to expand obliquely. In other words, after the upgrade is completed, my capital will probably occupy about half of the forest, and the other half of the capital. Tang Xiaofan remembered what Miss Jonah of the Yuanyuxiang Chamber of Commerce said. The north of the forest is a death swamp, the south is the Bulili Highlands, the west is the Karami Prairie, and the east is a vast wilderness uninhabited area. That means the other half of my capital will extend to the Karami Prairie and the Bulili Highlands. Each of the two areas occupies a corner. In this case, it looks good. Tang Xiaofan didn't think about it anymore and quietly waited for the upgrade of the black technology castle to be completed. Tang Xiaofan didn't know that, because of the continuous upgrade of the black technology castle, the world chat channel was noisy again. Although it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, there were still many castle lords who were night owls, especially some of the castle lords. They were in a complicated mood. World chat channel, oh my god, brothers and sisters, I'm completely confused. I was sleeping soundly just now, but I was woken up by a message saying that due to the expansion of the black technology castle, my castle will be forced to teleport to other areas. Wow. I'm confused too. Damn. My castle is clearly on the edge of the Karami grassland, adjacent to the forest, but in the blink of an eye, I came to the ice and snow kingdom. I'm freezing to death. My castle in the Bulili Highlands was also affected and was teleported away by the game officials. I just want to know, isn't Brother Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle in the forest? Can it affect other areas? Upgrade. I boldly speculate that Brother Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle should be upgrading to a high-level royal capital. It is said that the direct territory of the primary main city is 100 kilometers in diameter. I think the high-level royal capital, the direct territory may be thousands of kilometers. Thousands of kilometers of direct territory is simply terrifying. Oh shit. Brothers. I saw it. The wall of the black tech castle is crushing towards me. It's at least 1,000 meters high, just like a bulldozer. Wherever it passes, the mountains disappear. You haven't finished talking. Where are the people? Most likely they are teleported away by the game officials like those brothers above. The black tech castle is expanding outward, and all the castle lords who are blocking the way have been teleported away. Wow. This is the official clearing the way for Boss Tang Xiaofan. Boss Tang Xiaofan is worthy of it. Awesome. He must be teleported away, otherwise, with the wall of 1,000 meters high pushing down, the castles of the top castle lords will be smashed into pieces. This is terrifying. Boss Tang Xiaofan's castle has extended to the Bulili Highlands and the Karami Prairie. Although it only occupies a corner, it also means that the castle lords in this area are in big trouble these 2 days. Chapter 410. This time you have to surrender, even if you don't want to. Let's not talk about anything else. The next war plan of Boss Tang Xiaofan is definitely to attack these 2 areas. A moment of silence for the castle lords of the Bulili Highlands and the Karami Prairie. Boss Tang Xiaofan is here. The castle lords in these 2 days should withdraw quickly. Are you going to let me live? I just moved from the forest to the Karami Prairie. Do I have to move again? If you don't move, you will die. Where the demon army passes, which castle lord can survive? Looking at the information in the world chat channel, the castle lords of the Baliri Highlands and the Karami Prairie are now in a panic. Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle has extended over, with a wall of more than 1,000 meters, lying on the Baliri Highlands and the Karami Prairie, occupying a corner respectively. Next, Tang Xiaofan will definitely attack these two areas. There is no doubt about it. Only the castle lord in the death swamp in the north of the forest has a chance to catch his breath for the time being. Thinking of Tang Xiaofan's demon army and 8 demigods who might attack at any time, the castle lords of Baliri Highlands and Karami Prairie were worried and couldn't sleep. Could it be that we have to move too? It's really frustrating. Karami Prairie, it was early morning, and Bear Grylls still didn't go to bed. The reason was that he was awakened by the shaking of the earth. Originally, he thought it was an earthquake, but when he came to the balcony on the top floor of the castle, he found that it was not the case at all. There was no earthquake, but countless wild monsters of all sizes were running on the grassland. Not only did it shake the earth, but his castle was also shaking, which woke him up. He looked up at the distant sky. At the end of the grassland, there was a bright golden light, illuminating the entire night sky, as if the sun was rising there. What's going on? He was very confused, and quickly opened the world chat channel to see if there was any relevant information. Soon, he understood that golden light was the upgraded golden light of the Black Tech Castle. It could still be seen even though it was hundreds of kilometers away. That's it. This time, we can go to the Black Tech Castle without the teleportation array. Bear Grylls never expected that after Tang Xiaofan's Black Tech Castle was upgraded, the direct territory would extend all the way from the forest to the Karami Prairie where he was. It also shows that his castle, the ancient giant bear castle, is located to the east of the Karasi Prairie, not far from the forest. The reason why he didn't know it before was entirely because the prairie was too big, and it was all grass at a glance, making it difficult to tell the direction. Even if he had a magic map, without a reference, he couldn't determine the exact location of the ancient giant bear castle. He only knew that the forest was next to the Karami Prairie, but how far away it was from him couldn't be calculated. But now it's different. He stood on the balcony on the top floor of the castle, looking far away, and he could actually see the upgraded golden light of the Black Tech Castle. This shows a problem. The forest is not far away, and the Black Tech Castle, after being upgraded to the advanced royal capital level, is very close to him. Otherwise, how could he see the golden light of the Black Technology Castle upgrade? Maybe the area where my castle is located has been included in the sphere of influence of the Black Technology Castle. Bear's eyes flickered. This day finally came. This time, he had to surrender, even if he didn't want to, but in his heart, he also had some expectations. Have a good sleep. Tomorrow morning, chase the direction of the golden light and see if you can find the Black Technology Castle and give Tang Xiaofan a surprise. Bear turned back to the bedroom, but he tossed and turned and couldn't fall asleep. Black Technology Castle. The golden light lasted for nearly an hour and then completely dissipated. The upgrade of the castle was finally over. What appeared in Tang Xiaofan's vision was an extremely magnificent palace. But it was not just one, but hundreds. It was completely a palace complex, and his palace was located in the center of the palace complex, which was extremely magnificent. From now on, Tang Xiaofan would no longer have to live in a castle. In the palace, there are courtyards to live in, and tens of thousands of people living at the same time would not feel crowded. Looking at the palace in front of him, Tang Xiaofan immediately made a decision. All the first batch of farmers moved in, and they could also set aside a few courtyards for beautiful natural elves such as Olivia, the great elf Monica, the elf elder Becky, and the elf equipment master Ayeta. In addition, the Red Cardinal Louise, the commander of the Legion of Light, could also get a courtyard. For a moment, Tang Xiaofan thought a lot. At this time, the information prompt from the game official arrived at the right time. Congratulations, Lord of the Castle. Your Black Technology Castle has been upgraded to a high-level royal capital. The direct castle territory has expanded to 5,000 kilometers, and the castle sphere of influence has increased to 10,000 kilometers. The defense value of the castle heart is increased by 50 times. The influence and reputation of your black technology castle in the god and demon continent are greatly increased. Special reminder 1. Because your sphere of influence has reached 10,000 kilometers, you have received the focus of the Huayao Empire. Special reminder 2. You have received the focus of the Natural Elf Empire. Special reminder 3. You have received the focus of the Dragon Empire, and the hatred value has been greatly increased. Special reminder 4. The direct territory is 5,000 kilometers. The sphere of influence is 10,000 kilometers. It's terrifying. Even Tang Xiaofan was shocked. Especially the visual range of 10,000 kilometers. It is really terrifying. A forest can no longer accommodate him. He suspected that his visual range might have extended to the 4 surrounding areas. Whether it is the Barley Highlands, the Karami Prairie, or the Death Swamp in the north, or the wilderness and no man's land in the east, they have all been infiltrated by his visual range. After all, the area of 10,000 kilometers is really huge. At this time, the special reminders that appeared in the information prompt also attracted his attention. There were so many special reminders that it could be said that all the local empires in the central area were paying close attention to his black technology castle, without exception. He was silent for a moment, and then he didn't think about it anymore. After all, this was something that he couldn't escape. Moreover, they were about to establish a kingdom, so it was normal to be the focus of attention. If they were not paid attention to, it would be an incredible thing. Lin Yan didn't hesitate and walked into his palace hall. The palace hall looked many times more magnificent than the Dragon King Hall and Dragon Nest. Moreover, it was decorated magnificently, and there was a noble atmosphere everywhere. In addition, at the top of the palace hall, there was a magnificent throne, which belonged to him. However, Tang Xiaofan didn't have much interest now. Relying on his connection with the heart of the castle, he found the heart of the castle in the shape of a stone tablet in the depths of the palace hall. At the same time, he took out the heart of the dynasty, and the information prompt suddenly appeared. The divine object dynasty heart was found. Do you choose to merge with the current castle heart? Yes, no. Special reminder 1. After integrating with the heart of the dynasty, the current castle power will be automatically promoted to the kingdom power and recognized by the laws of the gods and demons continent. Special reminder 2. After integrating with the heart of the dynasty, your castle power will be regarded as a mortal enemy by extraterritorial creatures. Extraterritorial creatures? Could it be the dimensional demon clan that appeared in the ancient God War era? Chapter 411. Ask the boss to open up the right to live in heaven. Tang Xiaofan was puzzled. He didn't expect that such a small episode would occur when fusing the dynasty heart. But he didn't take it to heart. He couldn't not build a kingdom just because of unknown extraterritorial creatures. Wouldn't he be laughed at by hundreds of castle lords? Fusion. Tang Xiaofan didn't hesitate and chose yes immediately. In an instant, the dynasty heart in his hand turned into a golden light and drilled into the castle heart in front of him. Soon, the entire castle heart was shrouded in golden light. But not long after, the golden light dissipated. The castle heart, from the outside, didn't look any different. But Tang Xiaofan knew that the dynasty heart and the castle heart had been perfectly integrated and promoted to the kingdom heart, which was the core artifact of the dynasty force. Once the kingdom heart was destroyed, no matter how huge its kingdom force was, everything would be reduced to ruins in an instant, including its 3 arms buildings. So for the castle lord, protecting the kingdom heart is the most important task. Congratulations, Castle Lord. Your castle force has been promoted to Kingdom Force. Please name your kingdom. Black Technology Heaven. Tang Xiaofan had already thought about it. Congratulations to the Lord of the Castle. You have established a brand new kingdom. Your kingdom, Black Technology Heaven, has been recognized by the world's laws. You have obtained the qualification to compete for the throne of the God King. World announcement. Congratulations to the Lord of the Castle, Tang Xiaofan, for establishing the kingdom of Black Technology Heaven. Since then, the Black Technology Heaven, an orthodox dynasty level force, has officially settled in the God and Demon continent. The Lord of the Black Technology Heaven, Tang Xiaofan, has once again opened up a new era for the castle force. Special reward to Tang Xiaofan, the King of Black Technology Heaven, an exclusive artifact for the Lord. The Lord holding the artifact can mobilize part of the power of the people of the kingdom. All the lords of the castle force and the wanderers will be able to settle in the sphere of influence of the Black Technology Heaven after obtaining the consent of the Lord Tang Xiaofan and become the affiliated forces and people of the Black Technology Heaven. Loyalty to the Lord is the obligation of the affiliated forces and people. Any affiliated forces and people must not betray the Lord, and those who violate the law will be wiped out. The establishment of the Black Technology Heaven the whole world celebrates, and it is a cause for celebration. I hope that the castle lords can take Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Heaven, as their goal, work hard to develop their own castle forces, and have their own kingdoms. As soon as possible, the advent of the world announcement once again suddenly awakened countless castle lords and wanderers who had just fallen asleep. Some people slept soundly, but were directly awakened by friends' messages. In short, countless castle lords and wanderers gathered in the world chat channel again. Looking at the rows of large characters shining with golden light, I felt dumbfounded. Wife, come out and see God. Black Technology Heaven. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan is so mighty. I was just dreaming that Big Brother Tang Xiaofan established a kingdom, but when I opened my eyes, damn, it turned out to be true. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan is awesome. Establishing a kingdom at 2 in the morning. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan is absolutely unprecedented and will never be surpassed. Be careful what you say upstairs. Are you mocking the Big Brother? Drag him out and cut him off. By the way, didn't you all notice? The world announcement stated that Big Brother Tang Xiaofan established an orthodox dynasty level force. I have a friend who is the lord of a top castle. He upgraded the primary main city and established a kingdom 2 days ago, but there was no world announcement, and there was no statement about whether it was orthodox or not. I suspect that Big Brother Tang Xiaofan is the illegitimate son of the game official. That's right, Tang Xiaofan took all the benefits. Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven is not the first kingdom in our castle forces, but the game official not only gave a world announcement, but also rewarded an exclusive king artifact. It's so unfair. Is there anyone who can find out if the official boss behind the game is also named Lin? Haha, the brothers upstairs are really wise. Many castle lords immediately retorted. It is clearly written in the world announcement that Master Tang Xiaofan established an orthodox dynasty. Those top castle lords you mentioned only established pseudo-dynasties. Their castles are only at the primary main city level. How can they be compared with Master Tang Xiaofan's high-level royal capital? Highlight the point. The Black Technology Kingdom is an orthodox dynasty. What is orthodox? It is orthodox only when it is recognized by the laws of the world. This shows one thing. Answer downstairs. Received. It shows that Master Tang Xiaofan's dynasty power has been integrated with the divine heart of the dynasty. This is the orthodox dynasty. Compared with the Black Technology Kingdom, the other dynasties are simply not up to par. That's why there will be a world announcement and rewards for exclusive king artifacts. The Black Technology Kingdom is the real first dynasty. Immediately, many castle lords and wanderers also reacted, integrated with the heart of the dynasty. Don't you say that it takes 9 fragments of the heart of the dynasty to synthesize a complete heart of the dynasty? Master Tang Xiaofan has so many fragments? Impossible. I heard that only by conquering a dynasty level force can the fragments of the dynasty heart be revealed, and it is not certain that they will be revealed. There are only 3 or 5 dynasty forces in the forest. Where do so many fragments come from? This is too unreasonable. Countless castle lords and wanderers expressed confusion, not understanding where Tang Xiaofan's divine object, the dynasty heart, came from. Because according to the number of dynasty level forces in the forest, it is not enough to reveal 9 fragments, let alone synthesize a complete dynasty heart. In this case, where did Tang Xiaofan get the dynasty heart? At this time, a castle lord speculated. I suspect it has something to do with the initial beast tide event. No way. wasn't the reward that boss Tang Xiaofan got in the Beast Tide event the Sky City, the war fortress of the Demon Clan? It can be guessed that the Sky City was drawn by boss Tang Xiaofan due to his luck. And the divine object, the heart of the dynasty, is the only reward that the game officials have always claimed. That only reward. Oh my. This speculation is reasonable. I think it should be so. Otherwise, there is no way to imagine where boss Tang Xiaofan got the heart of the dynasty from. I didn't expect that boss Tang Xiaofan actually already had the heart of the dynasty when the Beast Tide event ended. This time he established the dynasty Black Technology Kingdom and used it directly. This is too terrifying. I can only say that this is boss Tang Xiaofan's routine operation. From this point of view, it is normal for boss Tang Xiaofan to be rewarded with a king artifact by the game officials. I envy boss Tang Xiaofan. The best equipment I have is a king level vibrator, let alone an artifact. I don't even have a holy artifact. You talk as if I have one. I do have a holy weapon, but compared to the king's artifact, the holy weapon is just cheap stuff. Nonsense. It's a divine weapon after all. Boss Tang Xiaofan is a demigod himself and has a godhood. Now he even has his own exclusive king's artifact. He is simply the son of the game official. It's so terrifying. There will be no more Black Tech Castle in the future. It will only be boss Tang Xiaofan's Black Tech Heaven. This name, at first glance, is prepared for the establishment of a divine dynasty in the future. If nothing else, I just want to know if the Black Tech Heaven will open up residency rights. If boss Tang Xiaofan allows a castle lord and the wanderer to settle in the sphere of influence of the Black Tech Heaven, I will move the heart of the castle immediately. Once you become a subsidiary force of the Black Tech Heaven, you can't betray it. Once you betray, you will be wiped out. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 412 Obtaining the Artifact King's Scepter. Heh, after joining the Black Tech Heaven, you still want to betray? I originally went to seek refuge with the big guys. If I follow big guy Tang Xiaofan, maybe I can become an immortal god in the future. I have the same idea. I have never thought about competing for the throne of the God King and becoming the supreme god. As long as I can become a lower level god, I will be very satisfied. The god war is about to come. The weak gods will definitely have no way to survive. Only by relying on big guys like Tang Xiaofan can they survive the god war. The Black Tech Heaven is a towering tree that protects our weak castle forces. Kneeling down and crying, I only ask big guy Tang Xiaofan to open the right to live in the Black Tech Heaven. Same request. +1 The world chat channel is very lively. The major alliances of the castle forces are also surging. The high-level leaders of each alliance and the masters of the top castles were also awakened by the reappearance of the world announcement. After seeing the content of the world announcement, they were all stunned. Unbelievable. This is crazy. The Orthodox dynasty power was also rewarded with an exclusive king artifact. Will the game officials let us, the top castle lords, live? There is no point in saying this. If you can establish the first Orthodox dynasty, you can also be rewarded with an exclusive king artifact by the game officials. I'm just very unhappy. Tang Xiaofan is already so powerful. He has 8 demigods under his command. He is also a demigod and has divine power prepared. Now even the artifact is equipped for him. How can we play this? The most important thing is that Tang Xiaofan did not get an ordinary artifact. The official introduction of that artifact can mobilize the power of the kingdom's people. In other words, the more people there are in the Black Technology Kingdom, the stronger Tang Xiaofan's power will be. It's terrifying. What can we do? Who let Tang Xiaofan establish the first kingdom of our castle power? Jealousy and dissatisfaction are all useless. Hearing this, many top castle lords fell silent. If this was a real game, they could still complain to the officials and stop playing to protest. However, this is a real life game. Complaints and protests are useless. It was easy to stop playing, just commit suicide. However, who would dare to commit suicide? They were angry and helpless about the official actions of the game, because Tang Xiaofan was ahead of them in every aspect, and all the good things were taken away by Tang Xiaofan. They had no other thoughts, except envy and jealousy. At this time, a senior member of the alliance said, "Don't think too much, just work hard to develop. The God of Faith system is about to return to the continent of gods and demons. Those gods of faith in ancient times are our hope to surpass Tang Xiaofan. If we can get the help of the God of Faith system, we can actually surpass Tang Xiaofan quickly." What are the godhood and artifacts? I believe that there must be a large number of godhoods and artifacts in the hands of those gods of faith. After all, they have participated in the wars of gods in ancient times. As long as we have a good relationship with those gods of faith, or form an alliance, we will most likely be able to get godhood and artifacts from them. So, don't envy Tang Xiaofan. Developing our castles and becoming stronger is the top priority, because only when we are strong can we cooperate with those gods of faith and get what we want from them and the artifacts that can surpass Tang Xiaofan. That's right. The God of Faith system is our hope. Brothers, to be honest, I'm already preparing to welcome a beast god of faith. Beast god. What beast god? A beastman god with the peak position of a lower god is related to a tribe of pigs I conquered. I believe that he will come to my castle soon. Fuck, brother, you are awesome. Haha, just average, just a little luckier. I accidentally got a fragment of the godhead. After communicating with him through the altar of the pig tribe, he claimed that, as long as I gave him the fragment of the godhead, he would help me 3 times. Haha, hasn't Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven invaded our Karami prairie? Wait for the beastman god to come and see how he resists. The person who said this came from the Prairie Heaven Alliance. Many higher level officials and top castle masters in the alliance were surprised, and at the same time, they were a little excited. Could it be that the black technology heaven that Tang Xiaofan had just established was going to be destroyed in their hands? After all, that was a god with the peak position of a lower god. Pushing the black technology heaven, that was only a demigod. Wouldn't it be like playing Black Technology Heaven? The information prompt from the game official also appeared in Tang Xiaofan's vision. Congratulations, Lord of the Castle, since you have established the first dynasty force among the castle forces that is recognized by the world laws of the gods and demons continent. The Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven will reward you with an exclusive king artifact as an encouragement. The God War is coming. I hope you will shine the glory of the castle forces in the God War. Congratulations to Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven. You have obtained an exclusive king artifact. Would you like to extract it? Yes. No, extract. Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate and immediately chose yes. At the same time, he never thought that he could get such a benefit by establishing a kingdom. An exclusive king artifact. It's a big profit. But thinking about it carefully, it doesn't seem so incredible. After all, he established the first kingdom among the castle forces, and it is an orthodox dynasty force recognized by the world laws, creating a precedent for the castle forces. Before, he was the first to upgrade the primary main city, and was also rewarded with a godhood. Now that he has established the first kingdom, it would be unreasonable if there is no reward. No matter how stingy the game officials are, they will not be stingy to not give a penny at this time. At the same time, a golden light appeared from the void. It landed in his right hand in an instant. He spread out his right palm, where there was a brilliant golden light, shining like the stars in the sky. After a moment, the golden light changed, and began to extend to the left and right. Gradually, a golden scepter appeared in his hand. King's Scepter, owner, Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom. Rank, lower artifact. Top quality, status, growth artifact. Description: this is an artifact exclusively for the king. Only the most powerful ruler in the myriad planes is qualified to own it. It is the symbol of the strongest ruler, divine power strength. 100 points. Effect 1. 1/10 of the power of the kingdom's people can be mobilized for the king's use. This effect can be improved. Effect 2. Under the influence of the King's Scepter, the loyalty of all the kingdom's people is forcibly increased to the maximum value. Note, this effect does not apply to castle lords and wanderers. Effect 3. Greatly increases the speed of gathering faith power. Effect 4. Effect 5. Upgrade requirements. 1000 divine power crystals. Next level. Middle god level. Low level. Chapter 413. I must intervene in the god war. Looking at the information of the divine king scepter, Tang Xiaofan took a breath. His expression was shocked. Because this is actually a growing artifact. In other words, its grade is not fixed like other equipment, but can be upgraded. Upgrading requires 1000 divine crystals. Although he doesn't even have a divine crystal now, and has never even seen what a divine crystal looks like, it does not prevent him from looking forward to the future of this king's artifact. If nothing unexpected happens, this king's scepter will accompany him for a long time. After all, one of its effects is to mobilize the power of the kingdom's people for his use. This is very terrifying. To exaggerate, if he has endless people, then his power is endless. The only limitation is the grade of the king's scepter. At the current grade, the strongest can only burst out the power of 100 points of divine power. Tang Xiaofan doesn't know much about this. After all, he is only in the late stage of demigod, and has not become a god. However, he did not ask the game official, but summoned his chief think tank and commander, Tony Stark. Tang Xiaofan asked, how strong is the power of 100 points of divine power? As he spoke, he handed the king's scepter in his hand to Stark. After Stark respectfully took it and checked its information attributes, a surprised expression suddenly appeared on his cheek. My lord, this is an extremely rare growing artifact. And there is no growth limit, which means that one day it can even evolve into a supreme artifact. Stark was shocked. Even as a true god, he could not remain calm when facing a growing king's artifact. Then Stark respectfully handed the king's scepter back to Tang Xiaofan and said, my lord, the power of 100 points of divine power is equivalent to the strongest attack of a lower level peak true god. Lord, peak of a lower level true god. Tang Xiaofan looked at the king's scepter in his hand. Its grade was a lower level artifact, a top grade one. As long as it goes one step further, it will be upgraded to a middle level artifact. Tang Xiaofan looked at Stark and asked, what is your strongest attack? Stark, as a superhero, is a master god in his complete form. As soon as he was born, he was in the early stage of the middle god, one level higher than the lower true gods. Stark replied respectfully, reporting to my lord, I can burst out the power of 1000 points of divine power in an instant. Tang Xiaofan was silent. The difference between 100 points of divine power and 1000 points of divine power is 10 times, which means that Stark is 10 times stronger than the lower peak true god. Of course, it cannot be calculated like this. Because the higher the rank of the true god, the stronger the divine power. Or 1000 drops of divine power of middle god is far from being comparable to 1000 drops of divine power of a lower true god. In other words, Stark is at least 10 times stronger than the lower peak true god. Whenever a lower true god invades the black technology heaven, Stark may be able to kill him with a slap. Tang Xiaofan asked again, what is the divine power crystal? The current upgrade requirement of the king's scepter is 1000 divine power crystals. After consuming this amount of divine power crystals, the king's scepter can be upgraded to a middle artifact. Stark responded, divine power crystals are similar to soul stones, but divine power crystals are naturally formed and condensed by the divine power of the laws of a world. Generally speaking, if you want to find divine power crystals, you have to go to the heart of the world. Although there are many dangers there, it contains divine power crystal mines. I know. Tang Xiaofan didn't ask any more questions. As long as he understood the meaning of divine power and divine power crystals, he would talk about it later. He definitely couldn't go to the heart of the world in the gods and demons continent now, but he thought of a question. He didn't know if killing gods would explode divine power crystals. I think there should be no problem. After leaving the palace, Tang Xiaofan checked the information of the upgraded castle, only to find that the name of the Black Technology Castle had become a thing of the past, and was officially renamed the Black Technology Heaven. Black Technology Heaven, current level, advanced capital, territory map. 5,000 kilometers in diameter, territory map. 10,000 kilometers in diameter. Ordinary buildings, warehouses, houses, noble courtyards, small gardens of elves, city walls, watchtowers, refining shops, smelting furnaces, moats, special buildings, farmer's factory, elf mother tree, holy light temple, faith altar, space teleportation magic array, monastery of light, upgrade. Requirements: 10 billion units of wood, 8 billion units of stone, 5 billion units of refined iron, heart of the empire, next level, imperial capital, current status, invincible, current camp, light, kind, lawful. Upgrading requires consumption of wood, stone, refined iron and nearly 23 billion units. And you also need a heart of the empire. Tang Xiaofan shook his head and temporarily stopped thinking about upgrading the empire. First, the resources he now has are far from enough to upgrade the black technology heaven. Second, he does not have the heart of the empire. Tang Xiaofan glanced at the resource reserves in the kingdom's warehouse. After the castle was upgraded to a high-level royal capital, he still had more than 4.7 billion wood, more than 2.6 billion stones, and more than 1.5 billion refined iron. This is a huge amount of resources, but it is still a long way from upgrading the imperial capital. Tang Xiaofan held the king's scepter, that exuded powerful divine power, and looked up at the dark sky in the distance. He whispered, the next thing to do is to attack the Bulali Highlands and the Karami Prairie, and conquer all areas around the black technology heaven. Improve the strength of my kingdom. Prepare for the upcoming God War. In the God War, the warrior army of my black technology heaven must intervene. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and the blood moon had passed over the head and slowly moved towards the western sky. Tang Xiaofan still couldn't figure out why the blood moon could make wild monsters violent. Logically speaking, the blood moon is just an alien planet, similar to the moon. Where does the power come from to affect the wild monsters of the entire god and demon continent? He suspected that the blood moon might be related to the dimensional demon race that appeared in ancient times. But this is just a guess after all, and the specific reason is unknown. Tang Xiaofan retracted his gaze on the blood moon, and then his mind moved, and the king's scepter in his hand changed into a golden light and drilled into his forehead. The king's scepter is his exclusive artifact, which can be stored in the body at will. Of course, all artifacts have spirituality. As long as the master is recognized successfully, all artifacts can be stored in the body. Almost all true gods also use this method to incorporate artifacts into their bodies, nourish them with divine power, improve the fit between them and the artifacts, and increase the power of the artifacts. Although the grade of the artifact cannot be improved, it can still make the power of the artifact stronger by nourishing it with divine power. This is what Stark told Tang Xiaofan. Because he has an artifact hidden in his body. That is his natal artifact. Chapter 414. Lord, we plan to recruit 5 million people. At present, it is in the sealing stage, and can only release the power corresponding to his position. However, the seal of the natal artifact will be slowly unlocked as his position is promoted, and finally it can reach the level of the main artifact. Tang Xiaofan has no divine power, and cannot nourish the king's scepter. However, he does not need to nourish it, because the king's scepter itself is a growing artifact, and it can be continuously upgraded, as long as there are enough divine power crystals. According to Stark, the king's scepter has no grade limit. In the future, it will be possible to be promoted to surpass the main artifact, and reach the highest artifact. The supreme artifact is the exclusive artifact of the God King, and the God King has not appeared in many pantheons. Because of this, the gods of faith who believe in the pantheon will return to the god and demon continent at all costs. Because they believe that the throne of the God King is hidden in this world. As long as they can get the throne of the God King, they can become the God King and suppress all pantheons. If nothing unexpected happens, the throne of the God King is likely to be a supreme artifact. Tang Xiaofan felt a little sleepy, so he found a palace and went to sleep. Tang Xiaofan slept very soundly. Maybe it was because too many things happened yesterday, from attacking the dragon's nest to destroying the millions of troops of several alliances, upgrading the military buildings, upgrading the castle, and establishing the kingdom. In short, he stayed up until the early morning. Inevitably feeling a little tired, he slept until dawn. He didn't open his eyes until the sun was high in the sky. With the help of the elf maid, he put on the holy weapon suit, the blessing of the natural elves. After breakfast, they came to the outside of the palace together. Almighty Lord. Stark stepped forward to salute. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly and took a look. In the square in the distance, the angel army and the natural elf army were all gone. Only 100,000 warriors were left in the city. Seeing Tang Xiaofan's puzzled expression, Stark said, "My lord, according to your oracle, the Angel Corps, the Natural Elf Corps and other corps in the castle, left the kingdom early in the morning to clear the wild monsters and local forces in the forest. If nothing unexpected happens, the forest can be cleared today." "Yes, I see." Tang Xiaofan nodded. Now the kingdom core under his command is very powerful, enough to sweep away any dynasty level force. However, it is still very necessary to clear the wild monsters and local forces in the forest. First, it can collect supplies. Second, it can harvest population and increase the number of his believers. And third, it can make the kingdom's arms stronger by killing the enemy. After all, killing the enemy is the fastest way to improve the rank. The experience gained from daily practice is far less than that from killing the enemy. Tang Xiaofan asked, "Has the recruitment plan arranged yesterday been made?" "My lord," Stark said respectfully, "this morning, Jarvis and I have completed the task you assigned us. We are currently planning to recruit a total of 5.1 million new farmers. We suggest selecting 2 million soldiers with relatively high strength and potential from the 5 million soldiers to form a war army. The other 3.1 million soldiers are divided into life professional soldiers, and their main responsibility will be to see your kingdom. Well done." Tang Xiaofan nodded in appreciation. With the help of Stark and Jarvis, he did not need to deal with these daily chores. The only thing he needed to do was to convey orders. Now that Stark, a super scientist and superhero, has arrived, he is even more relaxed. He does not need to worry about anything. However, there are still some things that he needs to do personally. For example, summoning farmers, nurturing angels and holy spirits, breeding natural elves, and recruiting light soldiers. In addition, the remaining soldier evolution drawings, soldier quantity drawings, and many magic skill drawings, advanced building drawings, etc. yesterday also need to be dealt with. But before that, he had to breed the soldiers of the new day. As usual, he came to the side of the farmer's factory and opened the message prompt. "Energy is sufficient. Do you want to summon the farmer?" "Yes." "No." Tang Xiaofan made a choice immediately. In an instant, the factory burst into a dazzling light. The factory with a diameter of 1 kilometer was completely shrouded in holy white light, and it burst out with the brightest light in history. It was like a star reflecting the entire black technology heaven. Tang Xiaofan turned his head to look at Stark beside him and asked, "Is there a farmer factory in the virtual world of God?" Lannister nodded. Compared with other warriors, as a superhero, he is very familiar with the virtual world of God, and his memory has not disappeared. Stark said, "In the Lord's God realm, there are tens of thousands of farmer factories, and the number of farmers bred is a very large number. It is because of this that our farmer clan can sweep across tens of thousands of plains." Tang Xiaofan sighed again. "So far, I only have one farmer factory, just because the construction drawings of the farmer factory are too difficult to explode, and I haven't found the second one yet." At the beginning, he asked the game official and learned that the soldier building drawings of the farmer factory can be exploded, but the probability is very low. Moreover, even if other castle lords explode the soldier building drawings of the farmer factory, they cannot use them. Because farmers are his only soldiers. If those castle lords explode the soldier building drawings, they either collect them or trade them to him, but they cannot be used. However, after so long, he has not received any news about the second farmer factory soldier building drawings, which makes his wish to breed more farmers empty. At this time, Tang Xiaofan's expression suddenly froze. Now that his farmer factory has been upgraded to level 9, can he summon more scientists and superheroes? When the farmer factory was still at level 6, the game officials claimed that it would take a month to summon a superhero. And by upgrading the level of the farmer factory, the time to summon a superhero should be shortened. Tang Xiaofan immediately asked the game officials how long it would take to summon a superhero. Soon the message came. Due to the uncertainty of superheroes, the summoning time could not be reduced. Moreover, when summoning ordinary farmers now, the more special farmers appear during the summoning process, the longer the summoning time will take. Tang Xiaofan asked, if all the summoned farmers were special farmers, how long would it take? If all were special farmers, it would take about half a month. Tang Xiaofan was moved. This time was not long at all. For the gods who could live forever, it would pass in the blink of an eye. It was a very cost-effective thing to summon 1,000 special farmers at the level of demigods or lower true gods in half a month. Chapter 415, The Terrifying Farmer Factory. Especially during this period, the faith god system is eager to return to the god and demon continent, and the god war is coming. If he had a lot of demigods and true gods, he would be able to participate in this god war at a faster speed. Tang Xiaofan was still not satisfied. It would be better if the time could be shorter. Tang Xiaofan asked again, is there any way to shorten the cooldown time of superhero summoning? The message prompt replied that it could consume divine power crystals to provide divine power crystals to the farmer's factory and speed up the cooldown time of summoning. Divine power crystals again. Tang Xiaofan's mouth twitched slightly. His king's scepter needs to be upgraded with divine power crystals. Now, the cooldown time of summoning superheroes is accelerated, and divine power crystals are also needed to speed up the time. This thing is really important. However, he doesn't have a single divine power crystal now. At this time, the message prompt appeared again, which was beyond Tang Xiaofan's expectation. The lord of the castle can use soul stones to exchange for divine power crystals. Every million soul stones can be exchanged for a standard unit of divine power crystal. Exchange? Tang Xiaofan paused and then suspected that the game officials were cheating him of his soul stones. Because 1 million soul stones can be exchanged for 1 divine power crystal, it is ridiculously expensive. He took a look at his own reserve of soul stones. Soul stones, more than 61.8 million. Yesterday, when Tang Xiaofan upgraded the elf mother tree to a level 9 military building, his soul stone reserve was only these. It seems a lot. Enough to surpass the imagination of any castle lord. But in fact, the total amount of divine power crystals that can be exchanged is less than 70. Excluding the decimals, 60 million soul stones can be exchanged for 60 divine power crystals. Tang Xiaofan turned to look at his Stark and said, are 60 divine power crystals a lot? Stark was silent for a while, and then replied, reporting to my lord, if it is in the illusory world of gods, this amount of divine power crystals is nothing at all. The farmer clan has a reserve of divine power crystals of up to tens of millions of trillions. But here, 60 divine power crystals are still a lot. What Stark said is very consistent with the current situation, because he does not have a single divine power crystal and is quite poor. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly. If he didn't go to the god realm, the tens of millions of divine crystals would be illusions. He was considering whether to exchange the stored soul stones for divine crystals. The farmer's factory in the elf mother tree had already been upgraded to level 9, and only the monastery of light was still at level 8. And if the monastery of light wanted to be upgraded to level 9, it still needed 40 million soul stones. With so many soul stones, it was unknown when they would be gathered. If the cooling time of summoning superheroes could be accelerated with the help of divine crystals, it would be a good choice to obtain a large number of demigod or even true god superheroes in a short period of time. Tang Xiaofan looked at the farmer's factory shrouded in white light in front of him. This method could indeed be considered, but it would not work today. The farmer's factory was already summoning farmers. Wait until tomorrow to summon superheroes. Tang Xiaofan had already made a decision. He would summon a wave of superheroes, because the current black technology heaven needed more demigods and even true gods to protect it. He always felt that Stark, a middle level true god, was not safe enough. After all, who knows when those gods of faith will attack the land of gods and demons? What if the war between gods breaks out directly? At that time, there is a high possibility that gods will fly all over the world. What's more, he has also received the special attention of the elf goddess Isabel. It is possible that the moonlight hunting goddess is also secretly watching him. His black technology heaven needs a large number of demigods and true gods to sit in. In the farmer factory shrouded in rich holy light, a large number of light balls flew out. It was a familiar scene, but the difference was that there were more light balls this time. They were densely packed like stars and suspended in the sky above the farmer factory. If it had not been upgraded to the 9th level farmer factory, it would probably take a lot of time to summon 5 million farmers at a time. However, the number of 5 million is very terrifying. Soon, all the light balls flew out of the farmer factory, filling the square, streets in front of the factory, and even the outer city. Then, after a period of time, they all broke, and in an instant, densely packed farmers appeared in the black technology heaven. Tang Xiaofan used his own spiritual will to cover all the farmers. Soon, he finished counting. Sure enough, the probability increased significantly. This time, he summoned more than 60,000 special farmers. The probability of 70% is really strong. 5 million people is a huge number. Fortunately, Stark and Jarvis had already made a plan. The current production-oriented farmers in the city arranged all kinds of life and guidance for everyone. And many people, after a comprehensive comparison by Jarvis, were selected as candidates suitable for 2 million warriors and handed over to the waiting to Legion commanders of War 1 and War 2 and began combat training respectively. The remaining 3 million farmers were arranged in the huge black technology heaven. Each person will be assigned to the community, and the management farmer of the community will receive and guide them uniformly. And everyone's work will be uniformly allocated by Jarvis. Whether it is farming, working in a factory, or becoming a barber, Jarvis has made preliminary allocations. As for their future whereabouts and ideas, they need to figure it out by themselves. Among these farmers, there are not only male farmers, but also less than half of them are female farmers. These women are not all assigned to the production department, and many female farmers have joined the combat troops. Compared with the pilots and other jobs that women have done in the army before, many of them were selected by Jarvis as direct armor operators this time. And considering the large armor robots that are being studied, which require multi-person collaboration, this kind of delicate position has been favored by Jarvis for female farmers. Of course, Tang Xiaofan agreed to all this after a brief look. As for Tang Xiaofan, he began to recruit natural elves and light soldiers one after another. There are 3,000 natural elves and 2,000 light soldiers. If this huge number is spread out, it will definitely shake the entire castle power. If someone knows that Tang Xiaofan can now breed 3,000 natural elves and 2,000 light soldiers every day, they will definitely be shocked. Because this is simply too amazing. Up to now, no castle lord has a number of soldiers that can reach 6,000. Even those low-level castle lords do not have so many soldiers. Because the level of their military buildings is very low, this directly leads to the fact that, even if their military forces are very weak, the number of troops recruited every day will not be too large. Chapter 416. The Black Technology Castle will soon have 3 gods. Tang Xiaofan, not counting the farmer factory, can now recruit up to 5,000 soldiers every day. The weakest of them are all top-level soldiers, the strongest are his farmers, and the lowest growth potential is demigod. You can imagine how terrifying this is. Unlimited recruitment of soldiers every day is something that no castle lord can imagine. But Tang Xiaofan made it a reality because the level of its soldiers' buildings is too high, to level 9 and 1 level 8. I wonder which castle lord can match him in the entire castle force. It took about half an hour for Tang Xiaofan to recruit all the soldiers of the Elf Mother Tree in the Monastery of Light. I won't say much about the Monastery of Light. Most of the 2,000 light soldiers recruited are of level 20 potential, including Sisters of Light, Knights of Light and Priests of Light. A small number of them are paladins with level 21 potential, cardinals and holy light Pegasus that can rival unicorns. Although the light soldiers are not as good as natural elves, they are still very important to Tang Xiaofan. Because the Holy Punishment Corps, the Fanatic Corps, the Light Crusaders and other corps that Tang Xiaofan will form next will make them the main ones. These corps will become the main executors of Tang Xiaofan's spread of faith in the central area. In this regard, even angels cannot compare to them. Because they are human beings, they can be well integrated into the local empire in the central area. Then there are the elf troops recruited through the elf mother tree. Among the total of 3,000 elf troops, there are more than 2,900 natural elves. The remaining 20 or so elf troops are elemental elves. This is very terrifying. You must know that Tang Xiaofan has only recruited 5 elemental elves in total, after building the elf mother tree for such a long time. They are the Holy Light Elemental Elf Victoria, the Fire Elemental Elf Evangeline, and the 3 Sisters of the Blood Elemental Elf. But this time, a full 26 elemental elves were directly bred, which is amazing. Of course, Tang Xiaofan also notes that this is also related to the fact that the elf mother tree has been upgraded to level 9, and the probability of recruiting elemental elves and ancient elves has increased. The only pity is that the ancient elves still did not appear in this breeding. It seems that the rarity of this kind of elves is much higher than that of elemental elves. However, Tang Xiaofan was not too disappointed. He was very satisfied to be able to breed 26 elemental elves at one time. Then he counted these elemental elves and found that there were 13 Holy Light Elemental Elves, 6 Fire Elemental Elves, 5 Blood Elemental Elves, 1 Glacier Elemental Elf, and 1 Storm Elemental Elf. The growth potential limit of these elemental elves will reach the peak of demigod. It was enough to rival the top troops under his command. Compared with the intelligent races of the god and demon continent, this was already very good. But it was normal that they were not as good as his farmers. After all, Stark told Tang Xiaofan that the farmer clan belonged to the god level race. What is a god level race? Even the weakest tribesmen, whose growth potential limit is demigod, are the god level race. Based on this basis, the natural elves, as a high level intelligent race, are far from being a god level race. Naturally, they cannot be compared with farmers. After being recruited, the light soldiers and the elf soldiers also left the capital and went to the forest area to hunt. Although they were just recruited and their strength was still very weak, Tang Xiaofan did not have to worry about their safety, because his kingdom army was hunting in the forest and a full 100,000 troops were scattered in the forest. The newly recruited light soldiers and elf soldiers would naturally be protected after they went there. At this moment, Tang Xiaofan's eyes were cast on the elf mother tree that was like a towering tree. Since he upgraded the elf mother tree yesterday, Olivia entered it and practiced in seclusion. It has not appeared until now. Tang Xiaofan looked at Stark beside him and asked, "Can you see what's going on inside the elf mother tree?" Hearing this, Stark immediately released his divine consciousness. After scanning the entire elf mother tree for a moment, he said to Tang Xiaofan, "Reporting to my lord, there is a figure in the elf mother tree who is in seclusion to ascend to the level of true god. He is currently in the state of condensing his godhood." Tang Xiaofan was extremely happy. He didn't expect Olivia to be so powerful that she was actually going to be promoted to true god. Of course, what was even more powerful was the upgrade of the elf mother tree. The elf mother tree was originally only level 6. After he upgraded it to the highest level 9 military building, he also gave Olivia a great benefit. If it weren't for this, Olivia's improvement would not be so amazing. She was the first to be promoted to the realm of true god at a speed that surpassed everyone in the kingdom. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "It seems that our kingdom will have 2 gods soon." Stark said, "My lord, you will soon be promoted to a god." Tang Xiaofan nodded. His current rank is in the late stage of demigod. It is not far from being promoted to a god. Even the natural godhead without attributes may not be used, because there are still more than 20 days before the seal period of the god. And Tang Xiaofan is always confident that he can be promoted to a god within this period. He suddenly thought of a question and immediately asked the game official, "If I'm promoted to a god within the seal period of the godhead, won't the godhead be wasted? Can it be used by others?" Soon, the information prompt came. After the godhead is unsealed, the lord of the castle can dispose of it at will. Special reminder, the natural godhead without attributes has unpredictable terrifying power and growth potential. Castle lord, please think carefully before giving it to others. Tang Xiaofan was silent. So, this godhead must be used by himself, but the question is he going to hold it back until the seal of the godhead is unlocked before becoming a god? If it was someone else, they would definitely not have such confidence. After all, there are only more than 20 days left before the seal of the godhead is unlocked. Who can be promoted from the late demigod to the god realm in such a short time? Even those top castle lords dare not boast such a big mouth. But Tang Xiaofan is different. He is confident that he can sweep across the 3 areas of Barlily Highlands, Kerami Prairie, and Death Swamp within this period of time, kill a large number of enemies, break through to the realm of gods by force. And once he is promoted to a god and has his own godhead, then this natural godhead without attributes will be useless, unless he can have 2 godheads. When Tang Xiaofan asked this question to the game officials, they answered Tang Xiaofan very honestly that the godhead is unique. Every god can only have one godhead, which is the only origin of the god. But at the same time, the game officials gave Tang Xiaofan a solution. When the lord of the castle is promoted to the peak of demigod and begins to condense the godhead, the seal of the attributeless godhead will be automatically unsealed, and the lord of the castle can choose to use it. In this way, Tang Xiaofan does not have to worry about wasting the godhead, and he does not have to wait until the seal period of the godhead is over before he can be promoted to a true god. Through this incident, he felt that the game officials were still quite humane. At least in many cases, they would not maliciously create problems for the lord of the castle. Chapter 417 Selecting the best from the massive architectural drawings. At this time, Stark beside him suddenly said, "My lord needs the creation farmer and the destiny farmer." Tang Xiaofan asked in confusion, "What does that mean?" He didn't understand why Stark suddenly mentioned 2 farmers he had never heard of. The creation farmer and the destiny farmer, are they both special farmers? Stark said respectfully, "Just now you said that there are too few farmer factories in the kingdom, and there is only one. This problem can be solved by the creative farmer and the destiny farmer." Hearing this, Tang Xiaofan was immediately delighted. He asked quickly, "Do you mean that the creative farmer and the destiny farmer can build the farmer factory?" Stark nodded and said, "In the illusory angel world, all farmer factories are built by the creative farmer and the destiny farmer. The creative farmer builds the main body of the farmer factory and condenses the farmer's heart. The destiny farmer gives the farmer the heart, soul and the power of destiny. Under the influence of their creative power and destiny power, the farmer factory can breed farmers. This is good news." Tang Xiaofan is almost ecstatic. He didn't expect that the farmer factory could be built directly. Although he has not summoned either the creative farmer or the destiny farmer yet, he believes that he will be able to summon these 2 kinds of farmers one day. After all, the 9th level farmer factory can summon farmers at any time. There will be a day when he will be lucky enough to encounter these 2 kinds of farmers. Once he has the creation farmer and the destiny farmer, he can build a large number of farmer factories and start summoning his own massive superheroes. At that time, let alone conquering the god and demon continent, even conquering the world of thousands of planes is not impossible. Stark said, "The creation farmer and the destiny farmer are 2 very rare special angels. Even in the illusory farmer world, there are not many of them." Tang Xiaofan didn't care and said with a smile, "One day they will appear in my kingdom." Stark nodded. He also believed that the creation farmer and the destiny farmer would respond to the Lord's call and descend to the black technology heaven. At this moment, Tang Xiaofan was in a good mood. He took out the drawings stored yesterday from the king's ring. Suddenly, looking at the king's ring on his fingertips, Tang Xiaofan suddenly felt that it was not worthy of the name of the king. After all, his king's scepter is a growth type artifact, while this king's ring is just a top grade holy artifact, not even a semi artifact. However, it is still a space equipment and is very valuable. He did not think about it anymore and looked at the large stack of blueprints in front of him. There were nearly 10,000 blueprints. Among them, the most numerous were the blueprints for the evolution of the arms, followed by the blueprints for the number of arms, and then the blueprints for magic skills and advanced buildings. He counted all the blueprints for the evolution of the arms, about 7,000 of which were low-level blueprints, a few were mid-level blueprints, and there were only more than 100 advanced purification blueprints. This was already very good. After all, the millions of arms of the Alliance army were weak and pitiful, and it was difficult to produce good blueprints. He handed all these blueprints for the evolution of the arms to Stark. As the chief scientist and superhero leader, Stark would just leave this matter to him in the future. Tang Xiaofan said, these evolution blueprints can help soldiers improve their growth potential, achieve bloodline evolution, and have more strength. You select some soldiers to use them, and strive to cultivate more suitable soldiers for this plane, as soon as possible. Yes, my lord. Stark saluted respectfully, and took the blueprints, and put them away. Tang Xiaofan began to process the magic skill blueprints. There were more than 300 of them, but most of them were level 20 magic skills, and a few were level 21 magic skills and domain skills. As for the demigod level skill blueprints, there was not a single one. After all, in yesterday's war, his army had killed only one demigod, and that was the Dragon Nest Patriarch Gallop. He thought about it, then picked out the level 20 magic skill blueprints, and put them on the trading channel. As for the remaining level 21 magic skill blueprints, he gave them to Stark. See if there are any skills you like. After you pick them, give the others to the level 21 warriors in the warrior corps. Yes, my lord. After Stark took the blueprints respectfully, Tang Xiaofan began to process the architectural blueprints. These are the best quality architectural drawings he left yesterday. They are all high-level architectural drawings. There are more than 20 drawings in total. There are the Inquisition Church of the Light Camp, the Templar Knights Training Center, the Altar of Light, etc. There are the Tower of the Dead Souls of the Dark and Evil Camps, the high-level Blood Pool Biological Slaughterhouse, etc. There are also the Magic Tower and the Unicorn House of the Good and Lawful Camp, etc. In short, there are all kinds of drawings, and they come from various camps, which dazzled Tang Xiaofan. Finally, he selected all the drawings of the Dark Evil and Undead camps, and put them on the trading channel respectively, and each one was sold in the form of an auction. After all, these are all high-level buildings, and the drawings are very valuable. He will not set a price casually, and then be picked up by others. Kill them instantly. He wants the castle lords of the Dark Evil and Undead camps and the entire castle force to bid high prices for them, and he can also get a lot of soul stones. As for the other Inquisition Church, Templar Knights Training Center, Altar of Light, Magic Tower, Unicorn House and other high-level architectural drawings, he did not hesitate to build them all. These buildings do not conflict with his kingdom camp, so there is no reason to sell them. After all, these high-level buildings are very useful. For example, the Templar Knight Training Center allows the Paladin of Light to change his job and become a more powerful Templar Knight. It is possible that he can even be promoted to the demigod level. As for the Magic Tower, it contains countless kinds of magic, ranging from ordinary low-level magic to forbidden spell-level magic. With the Magic Tower, the magic soldiers of his kingdom can learn a lot of magic skills and improve their combat effectiveness. Another example is the Unicorn House, which can greatly improve the defense ability of unicorns and attract the unicorns to join. The remaining high-level buildings are also very effective and can greatly improve the strength of its kingdom. In short, there are only benefits and no harm in seeing them. The last one, Tang Xiaofan flipped his right hand, and a blue drawing fell into his palm. He kept this blueprint separately because it was the most amazing value. Moreover, it was extremely rare, and the reason was very simple. It was a military construction blueprint that was revealed after killing the Dragon Nest Chieftain Gallop. When Tang Xiaofan got this military construction blueprint, he was extremely excited. Chapter 418 I have an appointment with your master, and I brought a gift. He believed if he hadn't waited until Dragon Nest Patriarch Gallop was promoted to a demigod before killing him, then he probably wouldn't have been able to drop this army building blueprint. This is the reward for killing a demigod. Of course, killing Gallop also dropped his own equipment, which he kept, waiting to return it to Gallop after he was resurrected. Gallop's soul is now being nurtured in the Holy Grail of the Holy Light Temple. After successfully converting into his believer, Tang Xiaofan will consider resurrecting Gallop. After all, Gallop is a demigod level silver dragon, and a strong man is still very valuable, especially for the native dragons who are attacking the gods and demons continent, where it will play a big role. Without thinking too much, Tang Xiaofan cast his eyes on the blue blueprint in his hand. Army building blueprint, Dragon Island, alignment, good and lawful, grade, top, Description: this is an exclusive army building for the Dragon Clan. Army that can be summoned. Elemental dragons, metal dragons, gem dragons and other top Dragon Clan arms. There is a very low probability of summoning space dragons, time dragons, destiny dragons and other god level Dragon Clan arms. Construction requirements: 300,000 units of wood, 200,000 units of stone, 100,000 units of refined iron. As far as I know, the top castle owners who can recruit Dragon Clan arms have the army building blueprints of the Dragon Nest, not the Dragon Island. Moreover, the dragon arms they recruit are of very single types, such as dark dragons, flame dragons, frost dragons, etc. They can only recruit one type of dragon. However, my Dragon Island can recruit all types of dragons. If you are lucky, you can even recruit space dragons, time dragons, destiny dragons and other dragon arms with god level growth potential. In comparison, my military building Dragon Island is worth countless times more than Dragon Nest. Such a powerful military building is naturally impossible to sell to other castle owners. It must be used by oneself. Without hesitation, Tang Xiaofan found a suitable open space far away from the palace hall and directly built the military building Dragon Island. Yesterday, he had too many things to do, and he forgot about this matter when he went to war with the million-strong army of the Alliance. Today, he can't delay it any longer. Do you want to build the top military building Dragon Island in the current designated area? Yes, no. Tang Xiaofan immediately chose, and suddenly the drawing in his hand turned into a golden light, covering a large open space in front. It can be seen faintly that there is a huge island in the golden light, surrounded by the blue sea, and waves are surging. To the west of the capital of the Kingdom of Black Technology, across the moat, that is thousands of meters wide, dozens of kilometers to the west, a full-scale army of light is marching urgently. To the west of the Black Technology heaven is the Karami Prairie. Of course, it can also be said that the Kingdom of the Black Technology heaven has occupied a corner of the Karami Prairie because the area of the capital is too large, with a diameter of 5,000 kilometers. The forest can no longer accommodate Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. The western territory of the kingdom goes straight into the Karami Prairie, and the southern territory of the kingdom goes straight into the Bolali Highlands. At this moment, this army of light is on the western periphery of the moat of the Black Technology heaven, patrolling the surrounding Karami Prairie. By the way, clean up the wild monsters and local forces on the grassland. They did not go deeper, but only patrolled within a range of about 40 kilometers from the moat. This is because His Majesty the King of the Black Technology heaven, their great god of faith, has not issued an order to attack the Karami Prairie. Otherwise, this army of light and other legions of the kingdom would have already killed deeper into the prairie and wiped out the beast tribes that can be seen everywhere. At this moment, a cardinal riding on a holy horse made a gesture, and immediately a knight in the legion blew the horn of war, and the sound was so exciting that it reached the sky. At the same time, the camp of this bright legion changed rapidly, with several cardinals and 50 paladins in the lead, 200 bright knights in the second, followed by a large number of bright priests, bright nuns and bright warriors. The legion's camp was rigorous, like a sharp arrow, aimed at the end of the grassland. A large number of figures soon appeared in that direction, and if the comer was an enemy, they would immediately launch an attack. As believers of the Lord, they were fearless, because they knew that when they died on the battlefield, the Almighty Lord would resurrect them and give them new life. Believers get eternal life. This is not an illusion. Each of them is a fanatical believer of the Lord, not afraid of death. At this moment, at the end of the grassland, there is a huge golden sea, moving at high speed. The earth also trembled. It can be seen faintly that the golden sea is composed of more than 1,000 ancient giant bears of huge size, led by a big man in black armor. The man stood on the back of an ancient giant bear that was more than 40 meters long, leading his army of ancient giant bears to rush over. It was the castle lord of the ancient giant bear capital, Mr. Berry. Mr. Berry led the ancient giant bear army early in the morning, chasing the golden light of last night, looking for Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology paradise. Now, she finally found it. Stop. This is the territory of the Black Technology paradise. The Lord's domain, everyone. Before the voice fell, the cardinal who was speaking changed his words. The leading man, put down your weapons and restrain your ancient giant bear, otherwise you will face the judgment of the holy light. Rumble. The earth trembled, and the ancient giant bear army roared over, and finally stopped urgently about 500 meters away from the army of light. Bear growls, standing on the head of his mount. His mount is an ancient giant bear of the 21st level mid-term, tens of meters in size, and also the most powerful army under his command. When Bear Grylls saw this army of light, a trace of joy immediately appeared on his cheeks, and he said loudly, "Don't get me wrong, I'm the lord of the castle from the ancient giant bear capital, and I'm not an enemy of your black technology heaven." He already knew yesterday that there were 3 army buildings in Tang Xiaofan's castle. One of them is the Monastery of Light that can recruit the Army of Light. So it is obvious that the Army of Light in front of him is the Army of Tang Xiaofan. But what surprised him was that the scale of this Army of Light is quite large, with a full 1,000 people. It is a fully staffed army. You know, the Army of Light is not Tang Xiaofan's initial army. Its initial army is a devil. However, the scale of just one Army of Light is so large. How many arms are there under Tang Xiaofan's command? The leading cardinal did not give up his hostility. He looked at Bear Grylls standing on the head of the ancient giant bear with a serious expression and said, "This is the kingdom ruled by the Almighty Lord. Sir, what are you doing here? In fact, not only this area is the territory of the black technology heaven, but also the prairie within thousands of kilometers behind Bear Grylls is the territory of the black technology heaven. The reason is very simple. The black technology heaven is now a high-level royal capital, and the total territory diameter has reached 10,000 kilometers. Tang Xiaofan is now focusing on clearing the forests in the east and north of the kingdom, and has not yet set the target of the attack here. Otherwise, all the lords of the grassland castles within thousands of kilometers around will be regarded as invading his kingdom. After all, who asked the game officials to divide the area within 10,000 kilometers around as a sphere of influence of the black technology heaven? Since it is the sphere of influence of the black technology heaven, then the lords of the grassland castles in this area are invading. In the god and demon continent where whoever is stronger is right, there is no such thing as first come first served. Bear Grylls immediately put away his weapon and said to the cardinal, "I have an appointment with your king. I came to congratulate him on the establishment of the black technology heaven, and I also brought him a gift. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 419 All men like girls with animal ears. He clapped his hands, and suddenly an ancient giant bear came out from behind. On its spacious back, a pair of fox girls were tied up. The fox girls were beautiful, with tearful eyes, and a big furry tail behind them. Benny Yi raised his head slightly. He kept his word, and really sent the fox girl to Tang Xiaofan. And she was an extremely beautiful fox girl. The cardinal saw the fox girl, and said to Benny Yi, "Wait a moment, I need to ask my lord." Then he retreated into the legion, turned his head towards the direction of the black technology heaven, and spoke in a low voice. After a moment, the cardinal turned back, and said to Benny Yi, "My lord has given an oracle, allowing you to go to the capital." After a pause, the cardinal said again, "Sir, I hope you can restrain the troops under your command. If these ancient giant bears are disrespectful to my lord, then they will passively accept the treatment of heretics by the kingdom of kings. When dealing with heretics, the troops of the black technology kingdom have always been directly purified. If they cannot redeem the bodies of heretics, then they redeem the souls of heretics. I know, I will restrain them." Benny Yi had no intention of provoking Tang Xiaofan's black technology kingdom. Even the several alliances headed by the Alliance of Gods, their millions of troops were killed cleanly by Tang Xiaofan's army. What are the more than 1,000 ancient giant bears under his command? In the ancient giant bear capital, the ancient giant bear army can sweep across the grasslands within a radius of hundreds of kilometers. When they come here, his ancient giant bear army is so weak that it is vulnerable. However, he was also a little excited because he could finally meet Tang Xiaofan. Of course, the purpose of his trip was not just to meet Tang Xiaofan, but more importantly, he wanted to form an alliance with the Black Technology Kingdom. If he could not form an alliance, he would become a subsidiary force of the Holy Angel. In short, he could not wait until Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army attacked his ancient giant bear capital before making a decision. As for Tang Xiaofan's character, Bear Grylls could not say that he understood it thoroughly, but he did understand it. He was sure that if he refused to attach himself, Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army would definitely find its ancient giant bear capital. The reason was simple. His ancient giant bear capital was located within the territory of the Black Technology Kingdom. When he woke up this morning, he received a message from the game official. It said that his castle was covered by the territory of the Kingdom Force Black Technology Kingdom, and he would face the possibility of being attacked by the Black Technology Kingdom at any time. He hoped that he would prepare early, so he couldn't wait to appear here. "Sir, please follow us." While speaking, the Cardinal made a gesture. Suddenly, other light soldiers evacuated this place and went to other areas for inspection. As for him, he led a small team of paladins to lead the way for Bear and his ancient giant bear army. Afterwards, the group headed for the capital dozens of kilometers away. The capital of the Black Technology Heaven, the core area. Tang Xiaofan's face was a little strange. He didn't expect that Bear's ancient giant bear capital was located in the east of the Karai Prairie. When his capital expanded, the distance with Bear became very close. What he didn't expect was that Bear came so soon, and he really brought him a gift, the beautiful fox girl mentioned earlier. He was a little speechless. What did he want the fox girl for? That guy really thought that all men like beast-eared girls? His angels, elves, and the red-robed cardinals he recruited were all beautiful. How could he covet a fox? He shook his head and didn't think about it anymore. Don't think about the fox girl. As for Bear, since he came, he wouldn't reject him from the capital. It would be good to meet him. Let's see what this man, who is recognized by countless castle lords, wants to do. Tang Xiaofan cast his eyes on the military building Dragon Island in front of him. Time passed, and the golden light covering Dragon Island had all dissipated. It really looked like an island in the sea, located in his capital, with a diameter of about 10 kilometers. It was surrounded by blue water. If you want to go to Dragon Island, you have to fly over the surrounding sea. Fortunately, its capital is large enough, with a diameter of 5,000 kilometers. In comparison, an island with a diameter of only 10 kilometers is like a small black dot on the palm of an adult. Even if the area of Dragon Island is expanded tenfold, it is nothing compared to its capital. Dragon Island, top level military building, alignment, chaotic neutral, initial level, level 1. 3 dragons can be recruited every day. Note, there is no limit on the type of dragons. Upgrade required, 100 soul stones. Special reminder. The level 1 military building Dragon Island has a very low probability of breeding space dragons, time dragons, and destiny dragons and other god level military buildings, like the elf mother tree. At level 1, Dragon Island can also recruit 3 dragon soldiers every day. In other words, if nothing unexpected happens, when the level of Dragon Island is upgraded to level 9, the number of dragon soldiers it recruits every day will reach the same level as the elf mother tree, 3000. Recruiting 3000 dragons every day. Horrible. It's a pity that I don't have so many soul stones. With my current soulstone reserves, I can only upgrade Dragon Island to level 8. However, even if it is only level 8, it is already very scary compared to the castle lords at this stage. Their military buildings are at most level 6, and it is possible that they don't even have level 6 military buildings. It's not that Tang Xiaofan looks down on other castle lords, it was just because the development speed of those castle lords was too slow compared to him. Even the top castle lords were the same. For example, the upcoming Bear Grylls, as one of the top castle lords, his military building, the ancient giant bear house, was only level 5. It takes 100,000 grams of soulstones to upgrade a military building to level 6, which is also a very large number for the top castle lords. Especially, it is difficult to report soulstones. But for Tang Xiaofan, this amount of soul stones is nothing. After all, he destroyed the millions of troops of several alliances, and he got all the castle material reserves of hundreds of castle lords. Naturally, his energy soul stones are countless. Even after upgrading 3 military buildings, there are still tens of millions of soul stones left. Without hesitation, Tang Xiaofan directly upgraded Dragon Island. It only takes 100 soul stones to upgrade from level 1 to level 2, and even its fraction is more than this. Soon, the Dragon Island that had just appeared was shrouded in brilliant golden light. In the golden light, the area of Dragon Island was also expanding rapidly, until the golden light disappeared. After upgrading to the second level military structure, the area of Dragon Island also expanded, and the surrounding sea area also became larger. Continue. Tang Xiaofan opened the upgrade information prompt again, and continued to upgrade Dragon Island. In this way, the brilliant golden light appeared again and again, until the area of Dragon Island directly expanded to a diameter of 200 kilometers. The vast blue sea was all around. Fortunately, Tang Xiaofan's capital was large enough, otherwise it would not be able to accommodate such a large military structure. Chapter 420 successfully built the 8th level military building Dragon Island. Those top castle owners who have dragon troops, their troops buildings are definitely not as big as my Dragon Island. After all, this is the dragon nest, while mine is the Dragon Island, which can recruit all types of dragon troops. If you are lucky, you can even recruit god level dragons such as the space-time dragon and the destiny dragon. Level 8 Dragon Island. Tang Xiaofan took a look at his remaining soulstone reserves, more than 52.7 million soulstones. Upgrading Dragon Island to level 8, a total of more than 11.1 million soulstones were consumed, and the remaining soulstones were not enough to upgrade Dragon Island to level 9. After all, it takes 100 million soulstones to upgrade the troops buildings to level 9. What is lacking is soulstones. Tang Xiaofan shook his head and put aside the idea of upgrading Dragon Island to level 9. Then he checked the information of the level 8 Dragon Island. Dragon Island, top level troop building, alignment, chaotic neutral, current level, level 8, 1000 dragons can be recruited every day. Dragon type is not limited, upgrade required. 100 million soulstones. Special reminder, level 8 troop building has a very low chance of summoning space dragons, time dragons, and destiny dragons and other god level troop types. Level 8 can recruit 1000 dragons every day, and if it is upgraded to level 9, it will probably become 3000. It's the same as the mother tree of the elves. But when Tang Xiaofan saw the probability of recruiting god level dragon troops in the special reminder, he was a little stunned. Because the probability of recruiting god level dragon troops is extremely low for the first level Dragon Island, and now the probability of recruiting is still extremely low when the Dragon Island is upgraded to level 8, he once suspected that the game officials had made a mistake. He immediately asked the game official, saying, why is the probability of recruiting god level dragons not changing at all when Dragon Island is upgraded to level 8? The higher the level of the elf mother tree and the monastery of light, which are also top level military buildings, the higher the probability of recruiting powerful military forces. Dragon Island has not upgraded. The information prompt came at the right time. Space dragon, time dragon, destiny dragon and other dragons are god level dragons, and the probability of recruiting military forces is always very low. Constantly very low. Tang Xiaofan asked in confusion. Then my farmer factory can also breed farmers with the potential to grow into true gods. Why is the probability constantly increasing? Because the farmer factory is a unique military building. The official reply of the game is quite direct and clear. Don't ask, just ask the unique military building. Compared with top level military buildings, unique military buildings enjoy this privilege. Otherwise, wouldn't the farmer factory be reduced to the same level as the top level military building Dragon Island? Faced with the official answer of the game, Tang Xiaofan was unable to refute it. He no longer entangled in the probability of Dragon Island, but opened the recruitment information prompt. The current troop building Dragon Island has insufficient energy. Do you want to recruit dragon troops? Yes. No recruit. Tang Xiaofan chose yes. It is normal to have insufficient energy, because the troop building will only have the energy of the first level after it is built. Now that Dragon Island has been upgraded to level 8, it is naturally insufficient in energy. It will take until tomorrow for the energy of Dragon Island to be sufficient to recruit 1,000 dragon troops. As for now, it can only recruit according to the number of recruitment for the first level troop building, that is, 3 dragons. However, no matter how small the mosquito leg is, it still has meat, let alone 3 dragons. Tang Xiaofan will naturally not dislike it. After choosing to recruit, suddenly, the Dragon Island with a diameter of 200 kilometers in the distance burst into 5-color light, which seemed to symbolize the evil dragons of the 5 elemental systems. Among the dragon clan, the number of elemental evil dragons is the largest. There are 5 types, also known as the 5-colored dragons, namely the red dragon flame dragon, the white dragon frost dragon, the green dragon poison dragon, the black dragon dark dragon and the blue dragon thunder dragon. Among the 5-color elemental dragons, the flame dragon, the dark dragon and the poison dragon are the most numerous. The second is the frost dragon, and the last is the thunder dragon, which is relatively small in number. In short, the 5-colored dragons are a big family in the Dragon Head faction, and their power and number far exceed those of other dragons. Not long after, 3 dragons about several meters long flew out of the Dragon Island. In Tang Xiaofan's vision, they were 3 small black dots that kept getting bigger. Finally, they appeared in front of him, facing him, and crawling on the ground respectfully. 2 flame dragons, and 1 red copper dragon. Tang Xiaofan's eyes were cast on the slightly fat and dark yellow-red dragon. Red copper dragon, metal dragon clan. As giant dragons, they can also spit dragon breath. Their weaknesses, that they cannot release dragon language magic and various elemental magic. Their advantages are extremely strong power, extremely strong physical defense, and extremely strong magic resistance. Metal dragons have much stronger defense than elemental dragons. However, they are not as destructive as elemental dragons. After all, elemental dragons master dragon language magic, and can easily destroy an area with power comparable to forbidden spells. When Tang Xiaofan's eyes fell on the red copper dragon, its information was also revealed truthfully. Red copper dragon, dragon family, metal dragon clan, initial level, level 4, current growth status, infant, loyalty 100 points, DHD, growth. Potential limit, level 21 to level 21 peak. Special reminder, after the fall of the red copper dragon, the corpse will gradually turn into metal tooth copper after a long period of evolution. They have a strong ability to detect naturally formed red copper veins. Initial level 4, growth potential 21 peak. Loyalty, once born, is always loyal. Not only the copper dragon, but also the other 2 newly recruited flaming dragon larvae have reached 100 points of loyalty to Tang Xiaofan. This has nothing to do with faith. The dragon army is not the light army. The light army is Tang Xiaofan's fanatical believers after recruitment, while the dragon army has only reached the peak of loyalty, and there is no seed of faith in their bodies. However, they will also quickly become Tang Xiaofan's devout believers in the following growth. After all, in the capital of the Black Technology Kingdom, there are special buildings full of faith power everywhere. Whether it is the Holy Light Temple or the Altar of Faith, all of them can convert the kingdom's citizens into Tang Xiaofan's believers to a certain extent. In addition, the holy light and sacred power emitted by the farmer himself will gradually affect the faith of the kingdom's citizens. Compared with other castle forces, the kingdom's citizens and arms of the Black Technology Kingdom are more likely to become believers. The reason why the loyalty of the 3 dragons reached 100 as soon as they were recruited was entirely because of Tang Xiaofan's exclusive king artifact, the King's Scepter. The second effect of the King's Scepter is to forcibly increase the loyalty of the kingdom's citizens to 100 points. They will always be loyal and will never betray. The only regret is that this effect is useless to the castle lords and wanderers and their troops. It can only affect Tang Xiaofan's own kingdom troops and the local intelligent creatures who have defected. But even so, this effect is very abnormal. Little did they know that countless castle lords had racked their brains to improve the loyalty of their troops. As for Tang Xiaofan, under the influence of the King's Scepter, all his troops were loyal. Chapter 421 The Shocking Super City Wall. Such ability is amazing, and it is enough to make countless castle lords envious. In addition to loyalty, Tang Xiaofan was also very excited about the special information of the red copper dragon. I didn't expect that after the metal dragon fell, its body could gradually transform into metal. And they also have the ability to find metal veins. This is really a strange dragon species. Go, Tang Xiaofan said to the 3 dragons crawling in front of him. Go to the forest to meet with the dragon army, hunt wild monsters in the forest, and improve your own strength. The 3 dragons roared and then flapped their wings to the teleportation array in the distance. It was because Tang Xiaofan's capital was too large, a full 5,000 kilometers. They had to rely on the teleportation array to teleport to the outer city and then go to the forest separately. If they didn't use the teleportation array, even if they were given 2 days, they might not be able to fly out of the kingdom. After all, they were just newborn baby dragons. As for Tang Xiaofan, he cast his eyes on the huge dragon island in the distance. The 8th level Dragon Island has a diameter of 200 kilometers and is surrounded by a circle of blue sea. From a distance, Dragon Island looks like an island in the sea, blue sky, and an island in the sea. The view looks great. Tomorrow, Dragon Island will be full of energy, and then we can directly recruit 1,000 dragons. Just like the elves, 1 legion a day. Tang Xiaofan was in a very good mood at this time. Now he already has 3 top level military buildings, plus a unique military building. What else is worth worrying about? He believes that as time goes by, the Black Technology Kingdom will become stronger and stronger. Attacking the local empire in the central area is not a distant dream. Tang Xiaofan left the core city, and Stark followed him. As for Zhen Yi, he went to the forest to meet with the warrior legion. As a middle-level true god, Stark does not need to participate in daily hunting work, because even if he kills a level 21 strongman, the experience gained is just a drop in the bucket for him. It is better to give the experience to other military branches. Moreover, if Stark took action himself, why would the kingdom army be needed to hunt wild monsters and local forces in the forest? With his strength, he could flatten the entire forest with a slap and kill all the wild monsters and local intelligent creatures in the forest without the need for the kingdom army. With the help of the teleportation array, Tang Xiaofan, accompanied by Stark, came to the inner city of the capital. The inner city is inhabited by the top arms of the Black Technology Heaven, such as elves, angels, light arms, dragons, and the thousands of top arms previously collected on the battlefield. As for the core city, only 1 type of arms lives there, which is Tang Xiaofan's farmers. At this moment, in a noble villa, Mr. Betty was sitting alone in the hall. On one side of the hall stood the cardinal who led the way for him. After being allowed to enter the capital of the Black Technology Heaven, Mr. Betty came to the inner city of the kingdom under the guidance of the cardinal. As for the core city, even the cardinal did not dare to enter without Tang Xiaofan's permission. Is this the advanced capital? Bear Gryll's voice trembled slightly. When he approached the moat of the Black Technology Heaven, which was thousands of meters wide, and the city wall, that was as high as the sky, he was stunned. Not to mention the moat, the city wall of the Black Technology Heaven was so high that he couldn't see the top at all, just like it was as high as the clouds. It was so magnificent that he couldn't imagine it. He suspected that the city wall of the Black Technology Heaven might be more than 2,000 meters high and hundreds of meters thick. Such a wall is absolutely indestructible. I'm afraid that even the gods can't think of destroying the city wall of the Black Technology Heaven. After all, the city wall of the Lord of the Castle is not made of ordinary stones. It is also mixed with special metals for strong defense, and is very resistant to magic. Yesterday, the 800,000 troops of several alliances besieged Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle, but they failed to destroy the city wall from beginning to end. This shows how terrifying the defense value of the city wall of the Black Technology Castle is, enough to withstand an attack of level 21. You should know that yesterday, Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle was only a high-level main city. Now Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle has been upgraded to a high-level royal capital, and the dynasty power Black Technology Heaven has been established. Its walls have also become higher and larger during the upgrade process, and the defense value is even more amazing. Benny inferred from this that the true god may not be able to destroy the walls of the black technology heaven, which is absolutely terrifying. If Tang Xiaofan sets up a god-level defense magic shield to cover the entire black technology heaven's royal capital, it will really be like an indestructible war base, and the true god will have to take a detour. When Bei followed the cardinal into the royal capital, he once again deeply felt that the black technology heaven's royal capital was amazingly large. To put it simply, he had to use the teleportation array to enter the inner city from the outer city of the royal capital. How perverted. After asking the cardinal, he learned that if he did not use the teleportation array, even a 21st level strongman would have to spend a long time to reach the inner city. It can be seen that the king degree of the black technology heaven is simply so large that it is quite exaggerated. Tang Xiaofan's capital is thousands of kilometers in diameter. Benny Yi's mouth twitched slightly. A city with a diameter of thousands of kilometers made his scalp tingle. His ancient giant bear capital's direct territory is only 50 kilometers. Compared with Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven, his ancient giant bear castle is like a child standing under the feet of a giant. The gap is really too big. After seeing and hearing all along the way, Benny Yi's idea of joining Tang Xiaofan and becoming a subsidiary force of the black technology heaven has become more determined. Since he can't beat or surpass, then surrender and develop under the wings of the black technology heaven. In short, he doesn't want to be eliminated, and he also wants to become an immortal god. Just as Benny was thinking about it, there was a sound of footsteps outside the door. The red-clothed host in the hall hurriedly greeted him, and Benny also stood up. Soon he saw two figures walking into the hall of the other courtyard. At that moment, his expression froze, and the whole person was struck by lightning. The cardinal knelt directly on the ground, with great reverence. Almighty Lord, your devout believer Cardinal Grote greets you. May the holy light always be with you, and may you be eternal. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly and said, go wait outside. Yes, Almighty Lord. The cardinal respectfully withdrew from the hall of the villa, and then Tang Xiaofan cast his eyes on the shocked Bear Grylls, slightly surprised. He and Bear Grylls have known each other for a long time, but this is the first time they have met. It must be said that Bear Grylls is indeed extremely tough and has a very burly figure. Although he is slightly inferior to his soldiers, he is also an extremely strong man. What's more, he is still a human being, the same kind of person as him. Tang Xiaofan introduced himself first. Hello, I'm Tang Xiaofan, the king of the kingdom of black technology. Chapter 422. How many ethnic groups have you offended? Benny suddenly woke up and couldn't help feeling a little embarrassed. He was really embarrassed to lose his composure as soon as he met someone. Hello, I'm Belva, also known as Benny. Tang Xiaofan, it's nice to meet you. After that, he also introduced himself, and he officially met Tang Xiaofan. At this moment, he felt a dangerous gaze falling on him. It came from the middle-aged man standing next to Tang Xiaofan. He didn't understand why the man suddenly showed hostility towards him, as if he wanted to kill him. It's okay, just communicate normally. Tang Xiaofan waved his hand, and Stark immediately retracted his gaze, and no longer paid attention to this human. This vulgar human dared to call the Lord's real name directly. If he was not the guest in the Lord's mouth, Stark would have used his divine power to kill him directly. It would not be just a look without the slightest divine status. For the farmer, the Lord is the most supreme existence. Calling the Lord's real name directly is a blasphemy and contempt for the Lord. Tang Xiaofan decisively stopped Stark. With his strength, he was the kind of terrifying existence that could kill Bear Grylls instantly with just a glance. If he killed Bear Grylls instantly, he might have to call the Angel of Heart to revive Bear Grylls. Tang Xiaofan came over and sat in the main seat in the hall. He looked at Bear Grylls and said, let's talk about business. You came to the Black Technology Kingdom to find me, not just to give me a fox, right? Bear Grylls quickly corrected, it's a fox girl. Tang Xiaofan said, it's the same. You take the fox girl back later. Bear Grylls said, the identity of that fox girl is not simple. Tang Xiaofan glanced at him. His eyes fell on her sturdy body and asked, what's her identity? Bear Grylls said, the fox girl is a little princess from the Fox Kingdom. Tang Xiaofan said puzzledly. The Fox Kingdom? The dynasty level force on the Karami grassland? Yes, and it's very powerful. Bear Grylls nodded and said, it is said that the Fox Kingdom has many demigods and a large number of level 21 strongmen. Let the Fox Girl leave the Fox Kingdom to find the fragments of the divinity that fell on the Karami grassland. Tang Xiaofan said with some doubt, with the strength of your castle, can you catch the little princess of the Fox Kingdom? Bear Grylls' mouth twitched slightly. It was obvious that Tang Xiaofan looked down on his ancient giant bear castle. But he was not angry, which was normal. Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven also had many demigods and a large number of level 21 soldiers, while his ancient giant bear castle only had 2 level 21 soldiers, one for him, and one for his mount. Compared with the black technology heaven, its ancient giant bear castle was indeed very weak. Benny Yi explained, the Fox Princess's escort encountered grassland monsters while searching for the fragment of the godhead. All of them were killed or wounded. Only she escaped with the help of magic scroll and hid in a fox tribe. After I conquered the fox tribe, I captured her, and I accidentally discovered her identity. Hearing this, Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, the fragment of the godhead is the gift you gave me? Benny Yi nodded and said, with the strength of your kingdom, it is very easy to defeat the grassland monsters and get the fragment of the godhead, but it is very difficult for me. So it is better to tell you the news in exchange for the opportunity to form an alliance with the Black Technology Kingdom. Very good, I want the fragment of the godhead, Tang Xiaofan thought, and soon after, a figure walked out of the void. Behind the figure was a huge sniper rifle. It was Tang Xiaofan's Terminator guide. Greetings, Lord. The Terminator guide bowed and saluted. Tang Xiaofan said, go and search the soul of the fox girl and find out the memory about the fragments of the godhead. By the way, don't let the person die and return it to her later. Yes, Lord Almighty. The Terminator guide flashed and disappeared in an instant. Bear Grylls looked at Tang Xiaofan in horror. He is the time-space farmer? Tang Xiaofan shook his head and said, the operator. Bear Grylls breathed a sigh of relief. Tang Xiaofan did not continue the topic, but said, as for the alliance, it is not feasible. Although Bear Grylls had been mentally prepared for this, he still felt empty inside. He showed a pitiful expression and said, you accepted my gift, but you turned around and denied it? Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, Bear Grylls, from the beginning when we met, I knew you were a smart person, so let's not waste time. Bear Grylls immediately became serious, and it was obvious that Tang Xiaofan was not going to fall for his tricks. Tang Xiaofan said to him, next, my kingdom's army will attack the Karami grassland. Your ancient giant bear castle is so close to me, and it is even within the territory of my kingdom. I have to say that you only have 2 choices. Without waiting for Tang Xiaofan to finish, Bear Grylls responded directly, I choose to be attached to your Black Technology Kingdom, become a subordinate castle force under your command, and lead my ancient giant bear warrior corps to fight for you. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly and said, you are indeed a smart man. As soon as he finished speaking, an information prompt appeared in his field of vision. Castle Lord of the ancient giant bear castle hopes to be attached to your Black Technology Kingdom. Would you like to accept it? Yes, no, accept. Tang Xiaofan chose yes. He didn't expect Bear Grylls to be so decisive. Obviously, he had already planned to surrender. At the same time, Bear Grylls also received a message prompt. Congratulations to the Lord of the Castle. Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom, agrees to accept your castle force, the ancient giant bear castle, as a subsidiary force under his command. Congratulations to the Lord of the Castle. Your castle has officially changed its faction. Special reminder 1. Your influence and reputation in the Karami Prairie have greatly increased. Special reminder 2. After becoming a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom, you must not betray the Black Technology Kingdom, and must not disobey the orders of the Lord, otherwise you will be wiped out. Special reminder 3. The hatred of the goblins towards you has greatly increased. Special reminder 4. The hatred of the Dragon Clan towards you has greatly increased. Special reminder 5. The hatred of the Forest Giant clan, the Treeman clan, the Phoenix Guard clan, has greatly increased. Special reminder 6. Looking at a series of special reminders, Bear Grylls was suddenly confused. He stared at Tang Xiaofan in amazement. How many races have you offended? As for the information in the special reminder 2, he was not surprised, because in the previous world announcement, the game official had already mentioned this point, which was to the effect that the affiliated forces must not betray the main forces of the country, and those who violated would be wiped out. So he didn't care about this. Besides, since he chose to surrender, he didn't think about betraying. But the series of hatred values increased significantly, which made him a little confused. Black Technology Heaven actually has so many enemies? Chapter 423. There is no limit to the number of soldiers I can recruit. Hearing what Bear Grylls said, Tang Xiaofan smiled and said indifferently, it is normal to offend some local forces when conquering the forest. Take the local intelligent creatures living in the forest for example. Which of the tribes behind them does not hate his Black Technology Empire? Goblins, dwarves, forest giants, phoenix guards, goblins, two-headed demons, dragons, etc. The tribes behind these local intelligent creatures all hate his Black Technology Empire. Of course, this is not surprising, because he conquered the power camps of these intelligent creatures in the forest. He has become an enemy, so naturally the hatred value is very high. In comparison, it seems that only the natural elves do not have too high hatred for his power, and more of it is the queen of the natural elf empire who pays attention to him. In addition, the elf goddess Isabel also pays special attention to her. Tang Xiaofan even has a hunch that it won't take long before the elf goddess Isabel will appear in front of him. Tang Xiaofan believes that his intuition is very accurate. So he wants to make his Black Technology Empire stronger before the elf goddess Isabel arrives. This is one of the reasons why he decided to summon 5 million farmers. In addition to dealing with the war of gods that may occur at any time, he also has to deal with the elven goddess. The elven goddess Isabel is not an ordinary god. She created the natural elves and can be said to be the master of a pantheon, comparable to the goddess of light in the pantheon of light. You can't be careless when dealing with her. Benny didn't say anything more. Since he chose to join the Black Technology Empire, he naturally had to bear some corresponding costs. Joining the Black Technology Empire's power camp, Tang Xiaofan's enemies also became the enemies of his ancient giant bear castle. This is inevitable. Similarly, the enemies of the ancient giant bear castle will also transfer part of their hatred to the Black Technology Empire. However, what made him feel dumbfounded was that after he attached himself to the Black Technology Empire, a large number of friendly reminders appeared in the special reminder information. In particular, some of the orc races he had offended before quickly turned their hatred values into a significant increase in friendly values. As a result, he now has no enemies in the Karami Prairie. It seems that those orcs also know that the Black Technology Empire is not easy to mess with. They are really a guy who seeks good fortune and avoids danger. Benny snorted twice and was shocked by the strength of the Black Technology Empire. It was just an act of dependence. The former hostile forces of the orcs dared not provoke his ancient giant bear castle again, and also increased a lot of friendship points. It can be seen how terrifying the deterrent power of the Black Technology Empire is. The orcs on the Karami Prairie were very afraid and dared not provoke. Benny once again cast his eyes on Tang Xiaofan. When he saw Tang Xiaofan just now, he was surprised by Tang Xiaofan's appearance. In his eyes, Tang Xiaofan, who was wearing a white and gold holy weapon suit, was really too handsome. And on Tang Xiaofan's body, there was an aura that made people want to worship involuntarily. I have to admit that Tang Xiaofan's pulse is quite good. If you want to give Tang Xiaofan a score, he can directly give it 9.9 points. For men can sometimes be described as stunning. Tang Xiaofan gave him a great sense of surprise. Coupled with the powerful man standing next to Tang Xiaofan, it was even more attractive. Benny took a deep breath and tried not to look directly at Tang Xiaofan's handsome face. He finally understood what it meant for a man to be good looking. Benny asked, "You just said that you are going to attack the Karami Prairie?" Tang Xiaofan nodded and said, "Not only the Karami Prairie, but also the Barlily Highlands in the south. After my kingdom's army clears the forest, it will attack these two areas at the same time. Attack at the same time. Benyi hesitated. He said, if you want to attack the castle forces, local forces and wild monsters in these two areas at the same time, you must have at least tens of thousands of troops. Tang Xiaofan glanced at him. Tens of thousands of troops? Is this looking down on his black technology empire? Tang Xiaofan said, I have 2 million troops, enough to clear the Kalami Prairie and the Barlily Highlands. Benyi exclaimed immediately, 2 million troops, how is this possible? In his opinion, even if Tang Xiaofan has 3 military buildings and can recruit thousands of troops every day, it is impossible to have 2 million troops in such a short time. After all, their castle forces have only been in the God and Demon continent for 30 days at most. Where can they recruit so many troops? Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, after the battle yesterday, I recruited more than 5 million troops, of which more than 3 million troops are life professions, and the remaining 2 million troops are all combat troops. Their attributes are relatively more suitable for combat. My only military building does not limit the number of recruited troops. With my Angel Legion, Natural Elf Legion and Dragon Legion as the leader, it is very simple to attack the Kalami Prairie and the Barlily Highlands in different directions. Tang Xiaofan did not hide these, because Benyi will know soon. Besides, Benyi is his man now. Under the constraints of the official rules of the game, there is no possibility of his betrayal. So that's it. Benyi suddenly realized, and he understood where Tang Xiaofan's 2 million troops came from. However, even though he already understood, he was still shocked. After all, that's 5 million troops. In the entire castle force, apart from Tang Xiaofan, which castle lord has such a large army? Not one. Not to mention 2 million, there are not even 10,000 troops. Even those low-level castle lords who can recruit more troops every day can't have more than 10,000 troops now. This shows how powerful Tang Xiaofan's only troop building is, and how terrifying these 2 million troops are. At the same time, Benyi was very curious about how Tang Xiaofan armed more than 2 million troops at one time. Didn't he consider the combat effectiveness of the troops? Or did Tang Xiaofan's Iron Demon come with its own weapons? He was quite puzzled about this, but he didn't ask much, because he suspected that this was Tang Xiaofan's secret, and could not be peeped. At the beginning, when he asked Tang Xiaofan what his reward was for winning the first place in the Beast Tide event, he was blocked by Tang Xiaofan. He always remembered this incident, and would not make the same mistake again. As if remembering something, Benyi took out a map from his space equipment, and handed it to Tang Xiaofan, saying, this is the magic map of the Kalami Prairie. It should be helpful to you. Tang Xiaofan took it, and checked the distribution of forces on the magic map. Only then did he find that there were as many as dozens of dynasty level forces in the Kalami Prairie. Chapter 424, The Dynasty Power of Kalami Prairie. Most of them are kingdoms established by orcs, such as the Fox Kingdom, the Swan Kingdom, the Silver Wolf Kingdom, the Behemoth Dynasty, the Savage Dynasty, etc. There are also a few dynasty level forces that were not established by orcs, such as the Mermaid Kingdom, the Naga Dynasty, the Black Demon Kingdom, etc. All the dynasty level forces add up to about 40, far exceeding the number of dynasty level forces in the forest. Benyi said, the Kalami grassland is very vast, spanning hundreds of thousands of kilometers. There are countless wild monsters and intelligent creatures living on the grassland. Naturally, there are many dynasty level forces. Tang Xiaofan nodded. Compared with the Kalami grassland, the forest, which is only a few thousand kilometers long and wide, is indeed much smaller. It is normal that there are many dynasty level forces here, and this is good news for Tang Xiaofan. There are many dynasty forces, which means there are many strong people. Once these dynasty forces are captured, he will definitely be able to obtain a large amount of supplies, and the kingdom troops under his command will also be able to obtain a large amount of energy value, greatly improving their strength. In addition, Bear Grylls continued to say that there is another force on the Kalami Prairie that is worth noting. That is Prairie Paradise, which is an alliance composed of hundreds of castle lords. Basically, all the powerful castle lords of the Kalami Prairie have joined this alliance. Their goal is very clear. He looked up at Tang Xiaofan and said, "That is to resist the invasion of the Black Technology Empire." Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Then they are simply looking for death." He even destroyed the millions of troops led by the Alliance of Gods and formed by multiple alliances. Is he afraid of a small prairie paradise? Even if the strength of prairie paradise is increased tenfold, it is still not the opponent of his kingdom. After all, the Black Technology Empire now has 2 million troops and a superhero at the middle god level. Even the true gods cannot protect this alliance. But at this moment Tang Xiaofan found that Bear Grylls' rough face suddenly turned pale, and his expression and eyes were filled with fear. Tang Xiaofan frowned and said, "What's wrong?" Bear Grylls took a deep breath and said to him, "Just now, a good friend of mine who is in Prairie Paradise told me that their alliance got help from a god of faith." Tang Xiaofan was also surprised when he heard it. The lord of the castle in Prairie Paradise contacted the god of faith so quickly? "It's just a coincidence," said Bear Grylls. A top castle lord in the grassland paradise found an altar when he conquered a tribe of pigs. With the help of the altar, he got in touch with the beast god from ancient times. Coincidentally, he has a fragment of the godhead in his hand. With the help of this fragment of the godhead, he actually got the favor of the beast god of faith and was willing to help him 3 times. At this point, Bear Grylls paused for a moment, then looked at Tang Xiaofan, his voice trembling. "Once the faith system returns, the beast god will definitely come to the Karami grassland. At that time, the castle lord will ask him to destroy the Black Technology Empire. That's the god of faith from ancient times. I don't know how many years he has lived. Now we are in big trouble." Bear Grylls naturally put himself in the role and stood in the same camp with Tang Xiaofan. If Tang Xiaofan died and the Black Technology Empire was destroyed, he would also suffer. Tang Xiaofan's expression was also a little solemn. Unexpectedly, the castle lord hooked up with some gods of faith in the outside world so soon. You know, they haven't descended on the god and demon continent yet. Faith beast god. Tang Xiaofan frowned and asked, "Do you know what god position that faith beast god holds?" Bear Yi didn't understand why Tang Xiaofan would ask such a question. Because in his opinion, even a lower level god is enough to sweep across the current Black Technology Empire. After all, the Black Technology Empire has 8 demigods, not gods. However, Bear Yi still answered truthfully. When the lord of the castle communicated with the faith beast god, he received information that it was a beast god with the peak position of a lower level god. Lower level god peak? Tang Xiaofan's serious expression suddenly relaxed. It turned out that he was just a lower level god peak. There was no need to be afraid. For a god of this level, his superhero Stark was enough to slap him to death with one slap. Although the beast god has lived from ancient times to the present, the lifespan of gods cannot represent their strength. The factor that can determine the strength of gods is divine power. The true gods at the peak of the lower level can only exert the power of 100 drops of divine power at their strongest. Stark, who was in the early stage of the middle god, could release up to 1,000 drops of divine power, which was much stronger than the beast god of faith. Tang Xiaofan said, "Don't worry, I have a way to deal with him. As long as he dares to come, he will definitely die." Looking at the sudden smile on Tang Xiaofan's face, Bear Yi was confused. He didn't understand where Tang Xiaofan's confidence in being able to kill the lower peak true god came from. Could it be the man next to him? It shouldn't be. Even if Tang Xiaofan's warrior had the growth potential to be promoted to a true god, there was no reason for him to upgrade so quickly. After all, the beast god of faith was already a lower true god and a peak god. Bear Yi felt that Tang Xiaofan should have mastered some kind of forbidden technique that could check and balance the lower peak true god. And that kind of forbidden technique was mostly the reward from the game official for establishing a Black Technology Empire. Thinking of this, Bear Yi's mood was also relieved a lot. Since Tang Xiaofan was full of confidence, he didn't have to worry too much. After all, compared to Tang Xiaofan, he was just a small top castle lord. At present, his rank is only the early stage of level 21, which is not enough to pay attention to the problem of the god level. Bear Yi said, "After all, you have to be careful." "Yes." Tang Xiaofan nodded. At this time, the Terminator guide returned and bowed to Tang Xiaofan respectfully and said, "My lord, I have found the specific location of the fragment of the Godhead." After a pause, he continued, "There is a Warcraft family guarding that area, and the most powerful Warcraft clan leader has reached the demigod level." "Very good." Tang Xiaofan said to the guide, "Contact Zhang Yi and the others to go together, bring back the fragment of the Godhead, and destroy the Warcraft family by the way." "Yes, my lord almighty." The Terminator guide walked into the void again and disappeared. The conversation between the two shocked Bei Yi on the side. It can be seen that neither Tang Xiaofan nor the warriors under his command took the demigod level Warcraft clan leader seriously, and he casually decided the fate of a Warcraft family. Is this the foundation of the Black Technology Empire? If it were him, even if he knew the location of the fragment of the Godhead, he would not dare to covet it. Because with the strength of his ancient giant bear warrior army, if they provoke the Warcraft family protected by the demigod, they will definitely be annihilated. There is no other possibility. Chapter 425, Clearing the Forest and Hunting, a summary of the harvest. Tang Xiaofan put away the magic map in his hand, stood up and said to Bei Yi, "It's almost time, so let's stop here for now. In addition, when my kingdom's army attacks the Karami Prairie, you will join the army with your ancient giant bear warriors." Bei Yi nodded, hesitantly said, "Some castle lords of the Holy Light Alliance hope that you can open up the right to live in the Black Technology Empire, and they are willing to become a subsidiary force of your kingdom." Tang Xiaofan said, "Tell them that what they should do now is to work hard to develop their own castle forces, and when I attack the local empire in the central area, I will consider taking them with me." "Okay, I will reply to them temporarily," Bei Yi said and said goodbye. When he walked out of the courtyard, he saw the depressed fox girl. Bei Yi turned his head again, gave Tang Xiaofan a long look, and said with a smile, "Such a beautiful beast-eared girl, do you really not want it?" Tang Xiaofan glanced at the fox girl. Under his attention, the fox girl subconsciously shrank her body, and with her beautiful cheeks and good figure, she looked quite charming. Tang Xiaofan did not look at her a second time. Compared with the fox girl, isn't his angel, and so on more attractive? Seeing Tang Xiaofan's statement, Bei Yi understood and said to Tang Xiaofan with a smile, "I will keep it in my castle. Whenever you want it, I will bring it to you again. It will be there whenever you call." Tang Xiaofan's eyelids twitched slightly, watching Bei Yi, and the fire girl, and the extremely beautiful woman walk towards the teleportation array in the distance, until their figures disappeared in the teleportation array. Tang Xiaofan retracted his gaze, looked at Stark beside him and said, "Look for an opportunity. If the beast god mentioned by Bear Grylls really comes to Karami Prairie, and cooperates with Prairie Paradise, then kill him." "Yes, my lord almighty." Stark nodded respectfully, with a hint of coldness in his golden pupils. Coveting the lord's domain, even gods should be regarded as heretics and purified. After returning to the core city, Tang Xiaofan received a large amount of food, which was harvested from the battlefield yesterday. After a whole night and a morning of hard work, his bright nuns, bright hunters, and the goblins and dwarves who participated in the work finally decomposed and collected the bodies of tens of millions of alien beasts. A total of nearly 3 billion units of food were obtained. As usual, Tang Xiaofan stored the high quality food for the castle troops. Because the higher the quality of the food, the more energy value can be increased when it is eaten. As for the low quality food, all of them were put on the trading channel. So far, the food he has put on the market in the trading area has reached more than 10 billion units, which is a huge number, and has shocked countless castle lords and wanderers. In addition, the millions of equipment, nearly 100,000 blueprints, and other various items he put on the market yesterday have been sold by now, and he has also gained a lot of supplies. When all these things are sold out, I believe the supplies he has harvested will be an astronomical figure. After all, although these things are ordinary, they are in large quantities. Moreover, he has a large number of high-level equipment and high-level blueprints being auctioned. These are the big heads of transactions, which can increase his soul stones. In short, the benefits brought by yesterday's war are far from over. Time passed quickly, and it was evening in the blink of an eye, and the blood moon had already arrived. The 2 million troops who cleared the forest also returned to the Black Technology Empire one after another. Tang Xiaofan looked up at the blood moon hanging in the distant sky. Tomorrow I will breed an adult angel. I just hope my luck will be better. Not to mention the upper gods, as long as I can breed an angel of the middle god level. He didn't ask for much, just the middle god. The angels corresponding to the middle god are the 10 winged angels and the 12 winged angels. In other words, as long as there are 10 winged angels or 12 winged angels, his wish will be fulfilled. In the evening, the angel army also returned with the large army. Now the size of the angel army has grown to more than 3,000. It was because Tang Xiaofan spent soul stones on the farmer factory that was upgraded to level 9 this morning and bred a full 1,000 angels at one time, which made the size of the angel army soar. If it was the first time he came, he couldn't imagine it at all. After all, when he just came, the farmer factory on the God and Demon continent was only level 1, and there were not many soul stones. He didn't have the strength to summon fanatics to transform into angels. Now he doesn't have to be restricted by soul stones. Tang Xiaofan decided to recruit 3,000 angels every day. One angel army a day is terrifying. My lord. At this time, Halen Winnie, who had already entered the level of a 10-winged angel, appeared in front of Tang Xiaofan and handed over today's harvest to Tang Xiaofan with great reverence. The 3 sisters of the Sea and Blue Angels, Winnie, Vida, and Agatha, have now been promoted to the level of a 10-winged angel with the help of the arms evolution drawings. I believe that it won't be long before the 3 sisters can be promoted to 12 wings. After all, Tang Xiaofan opened thousands of arms evolution drawings for Shida, and the 3 sisters of the Sea and Blue Angels should be able to get some, so as to achieve the evolution of their bloodline. If they are lucky, they may even be able to use the advanced arms purification drawings to achieve super evolution of their bloodline. Directly promoted to the level of 14 wings. For example, Halen Winnie. If she achieves super evolution, then she can be promoted from a 10-winged main angel to a 14-winged seraph comparable to Tigger. Of course, this is just Tang Xiaofan's expectation for them. To achieve super evolution of bloodline, it depends on their luck. Every angel is the same. If they are lucky, they can soar into the sky like Tigger. If they are unlucky, ordinary blood purification may not be successful. In short, luck is the most important thing in the process of evolution. Tang Xiaofan took a look at the spoils submitted by the 10-winged Archangel Halen Winnie, which were stored in a space ring. There were about 6 million soul stones and a large number of blueprints, equipment, etc. As for other ordinary spoils, they were all given to the various legions of the Black Technology Heaven to deal with, such as the corpses of monsters in the wild, etc. Good harvest. Tang Xiaofan smiled and then stored all the soul stones in the space ring into his own king's ring, because the king's ring is a top grade holy artifact with a large enough space. Energy stone, more than 57.3 million. The 10-winged Archangel Halen Winnie said respectfully, reporting to my lord, in accordance with your oracle, my angel legion and other legions, totaling more than 2 million troops, have cleared all the remaining areas of the forest. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.